13 mana, boy.
Have a real fight when I get home. Gentlemen?
AA,
One
perhaps?
more, probably AA, maybe Dragonite, and then I expect as a Lion plus a Timber, maybe Lion plus a Puck. We're gonna see. Then Leshrac. It's a flex pick. Just in general, a great. They love to play
10 seconds now.
tower and the living armor.
5 seconds.
No.
Almost certainly a lion. It's either-
Almost certainly a lion?
It's lion or AA. Earlier on in the tournament, during group stage, I would say AA. Doing, but they've been lion, picking lion. They've picked it 8 times in playoff run.
I'm not scared, bro.
Out of how many games?
Out of 11
I'm not
games.
scared, bro.
Goodness.
I'm cool.
Considering that like pairings that I would maybe love if this
That's Radiant's back.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. Lion. We're in lion.
So
Brian.
you know, I haven't gotten you to witness your puns The Timber would almost certainly be coming from one doesn't. So that has to be taken.
10 seconds.
I hope to see a.
5 seconds.
I could have told you my sleep flying into.
It's Radiant's turn to
He has been.
Okay, I have all the strength heroes. Doom is best at it. Most of the strength heroes that want to navigate fights, they can't because Timbersaw, not only do they not deal with Timbersaw, but they died at Timbersaw. But Timbersaw just kill him. Worst case scenario, he's out of the fight for 50. But Timbersaw, I've viewed
Timbers,
as
like
very
it's
good
a
against
great
Wyvern.
timber. It's great
Yeah.
against. It's the best in my Wyvern.
10
You
seconds.
brace a ton of damage coming out. Great laner,
5 seconds.
tri-lane, leave Doom, which matchup Doom still gets the farm. Gold extra. I like Invoker available. Puck Wyvern in the back lines. We have to see. Evil got a bit of a surprise by
Oh,
this
wow.
Doom pick. Go with the Ancient Apparition. No heal.
So they think it's a good enough. The back we were talking about Wyvern, as you said. Not only is it one of the heroes that can kill, hold Embrace, you also
10
don't do
seconds.
him
Yes.
with Curse or his teammates when they're
5 seconds.
everything offensive about Wyvern is bad as well. So that says a lot.
What's Radiant's
Willingly
plan,
passing up
by the way?
on the Timber. The thing about AA, so good. All these beef like the Doom, and he's also good against Wyvern because you're basically alley-ooping his Ice Blast. Frozen. So I'm gonna be looking for Wraith King ban. So good against Doom lives, and then
5 seconds. It's Radiant's turn to ban.
it has to be. But really not good against what. So I have to imagine that was.
I want to see
10
something to
seconds.
get split the fight once the
5 seconds.
great catch whenever picked. If you did a limited amount of Warlock, they had a Dragonite, like maybe something like our Darkseer type.
Do that option, or you can pick like mid Death Prophet. Death Prophet raise. Don't mind getting Doom. A couple buttons. You siphon, and even if you get doomed, your
10 seconds.
thing about Death Prophet is it's lineup, but
5 seconds.
they don't have that right now. Well, I would be more. Tried Bat. It's out a lot against these well, but they've lost both games. So
I just like
Okay.
Wyvern. Left rack, it get Doom. Against Wyvern, it's
similar,
okay. It's okay. You have a ton of art putting it in a bad spot. I think it's a great.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Yeah,
opener
yep,
to take.
there
Yeah.
it is. You guys are nailing it. And I'd like to remind you that Protector ban targeted.
Something that second season
10 seconds.
4 duos. Lion,
5 seconds.
Fire. In my opinion, did at the
Yeah, I agree. Up until that LGD that really
What's Radiant's plan anyway?
off that. I'm feeling Puck both lineups, both
Yeah.
teams like this hero. Counters. And right now, it enables T1's draft really well because their offlaner they offer want the work
10 seconds.
great against that, but then also for you,
5 seconds.
they love Puck, who's all
Opponent's turn to pick.
God. So there's the DK ban into the Puck.
Oh, he just calls it without even seeing it. Brian, calm down.
There's no way they go. 'Cause
It's
EG will
apparition
figure-
plus many games like
10
Great setup.
seconds.
flexible pick setup.
5
But yeah,
seconds.
Lion, your apparition. If you get Lion, he's dead. Damage that you. A lot of time, like they are really thinking.
They clearly weren't. Actually, it's the ban fine teams thinking a lot on because they ban insta selected to like confident in the ban of DK itself, but they must be considering if they don't pick Puck now, will EG take it third? I'm pretty sure both teams. It's a commodity.
Dire should pick now.
But they go for clock.
It's a good clock. Defensive
It's
mechanism.
Radiant's pick.
It's just that good of a.
I
pick.
didn't like it because EG.
They have no follow
It's Dire's turn to pick.
setup for Puck, but have-
Oh, that's-
Oh,
they're trying to
okay.
set up. Clock is like a good. Okay, so it's the lane thing. I think PL is
Just who will Dire?
very good. Okay, Naga's the other option. But more of
it's the same
RT's
thing. Just
RT's the option.
they don't have enough AOE damage. That was that cover.
10
They are
seconds.
100. All four,
5 seconds.
other than Blast and Rocket Flare.
And
That's it.
reflection.
If Reflection
That's
hits
it.
one target. No, I'm
sure.
saying it doesn't
they
hit.
each
It doesn't
have
hit
one
the,
spell, but that's okay.
but they're like pretty minimal. It's like when Naga
Yeah,
gets
it's
to
not- it's-
2,500 HP. How do you ever clear the illusions? Well, I'm heavily leaning.
Plan anyway.
Naga is not exactly a broken hero. Sometimes that can just be played. Naga out of meta hero, counter it in a Naga.
Just who will Dire ban?
Everybody's saying right now, the Aeon disc.
Yes.
Frog. They're saying
It's super. I would. Something that not say has been. Puck
10 seconds.
backpacking it. A lot of stuff like
5
you
seconds.
too good of an fight. You have it ready.
Should have an assist.
I
That'd
have
be a good.
All right. Query: nerf the Puck. You can only choose one.
I would want you. Half the reason.
It's Radiant's turn to ban.
Right when it procs, strong dispel, boom, face
Face.
shield.
See, you people don't think. You don't think. All you want to do is get rid of things.
I don't want to delete it. I want it just like 1,000 extra.
Necrobook in the last patch.
That
I
was a
say
good
get
one.
rid of
Yeah.
Necrobook.
Good riddance.
Aeon disc
That's
in
why
this
we
one.
see range support
5 seconds.
time because they're not afraid. Like
Aeon disc would.
Why
We're
are you?
back,
Why are you
baby.
bringing this to people's attention?
I am bringing this to people's attention. I know that they're
Ah, yes.
the Aeon disc will be deleted, and our time will find. I cannot wait. At any rate, Centaur, as you guys said, a great Disengage Doom is out, and
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
a Sand King
I was thinking
ban.
about our
Why?
green room. Like, why is he like? I was just Spirit Vessel, Evoker, and down. Thought of
10 seconds.
Pick?
Nice.
I
Yeah,
have-
there's been Sand Kings the last
Oh,
few days.
oh,
Carl
okay.
even won against.
I
Yeah,
was
with
a
mid- with
Sand
Oh,
King.
that's right.
It was
that's
super
right.
fun. Have a lot of win rate, but
You know.
they Tidehunter gets
Choose your hero.
Mid Doom.
Did they
Offlane Dark.
disconnect or get disconnected?
Now the Dark Wyvern team.
Never a doubt in my
This
mind.
Darkseer, their last pick had to. I'd say Darkseer is one of the best illusion here. Not only are you illusion because the Ion Shell enables automatically. I don't. Oh, it's yeah, it is an option.
they just the puck.
I
No,
agree.
not a single thing except Doom. Ravage available. This freest puck games.
Aggressive puck, maybe a Dagon. I'm not gonna say it too, but a little bit of burst on that Terror. There's not a lot of people that can help them. Oof.
There's not been a more impressive team in regards to making. I doubted their Terrorblade and just had all the time in the war. Capable of doing this, cores that are hard to kill on a team that loves this map.
Well, after that statement and that beautiful map, we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, game one. Pass it over.
Hello.
How are you doing on this
How are you?
loveliest of
We had to walk to stage. He's really exhausted. But we're
the
here.
lower bracket finals, best of 3? EG, the Kings of NA, T1, the Beasts of SCA. This is going to be a really cool matchup to see who ends up facing the strongest team in the tournament so far, PSG, LGD. And we have some interesting picks, Cinderman.
Yep.
We got Cuckoo on the Darkseer.
Thanks, guys.
We have,
Thanks a lot.
well, I guess that's the most interesting one on their team. But on the other side, Arteezy with the Naga, which we haven't seen a lot of.
Yep.
And from the games that I've seen in NA, it was not impressive. But this was, I guess, a few weeks ago at this point. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not the most sold on Naga as a pick right now in the meta, but I do think that EG have a lot of good reasons to pick it here. They have an expert on the hero. They have a really good cast around it. Lots of team fight, I think, is what Naga really thrives with. And the enemy team, one of their core, or two of their core heroes, are not the best against Naga. Mainly talking about Doom and Terrorblade here. So it's cool to see. It's the first game of the best of 3 that both teams are bringing something fresh. It's not just the exact same picks we've seen all the time, but obviously a lot of them are. I don't know how much T1 have been playing this Clockwork on Zephyr.
I have a pretty good idea.
We'll see how it works out in this game. I think the Naga matchup is pretty bad for Clockwork as well, but it can work with Darkseer because of the Ion Shell in lane. And kind of when you look at the macro plan for both teams, it's pretty similar. Both Naga and Terrorblade will be pushing side lanes with illusions. Both teams have the team fight and want to group up and make it happen. So I think this game will be, a lot will be determined in the first couple of team fights and not as much in the lanes maybe as usual for EG, because this time around they haven't actually picked the strongest lanes. That's something EG have been doing a lot in this tournament, is have these incredible lanes, but Naga not really a very strong laner. EG even trying to, or choosing to start aggro trial lane, which is pretty unusual as well. They have done that a little bit, but most of their games, it has been that crit plus ice, ice, ice off lane. And now they're aggro trialing and putting their Tide solo safe against Darkseer Clock.
I mean, this is a blast from the past. Naga Siren and aggro trialing.
Yeah.
Not something we get to see all too often. But yeah, should be interested to see how both teams fare in the laning stage. I mean, I haven't gotten to see a ton of Darkseer. I feel like the hero is strong when we've seen it, sparingly, if you will. What do you think about Cuckoo's hero this game around? Do you think it's a good pick?
Yeah, so most of the time when Darkseer doesn't look good, it's because he gets shut down hard in lane. And that's just not going to happen this game. He's got a 1v1 against Tide, or well, 2v1 if you will, with the help of Zephyr here to start. He's just pulling the wave. We're probably going to see Clockwork maybe take level 2 and then go bottom. As 23 Savage is really getting in there against Crit.
Yeah, Crit takes some heavy damage from Arteezy with the illusions, trying to play a little bit more aggressively. And again, this is a 3v2 for now, at least.
Yeah, and Terrorblade he got the first full wave, and then since then he hasn't got a single CS. Obviously, EG putting a lot of emphasis on repositioning the lane as far back as possible so the two supports can act as zoning tools. As Whiteman is going to walk out here and block a camp that he has already blocked, but he's doing it for show. So that EG don't realize the sentry is placed here necessarily. And Fly will place a second one, which will be found later, I would imagine, from Whiteman.
Yeah, absolutely. Some mind games being played, like you talked about.
I guess we have to mention Abed Puck as well, right? This has probably been the standout player-hero combination for the tournament, to be honest.
For the past two tournaments.
At least if you look beyond PSG LGD, right? But they've also had a very short path to that grand final. But of the teams that we've seen play a lot of extra games,
wait, what?
Abed's Puck has
PSG, you mean through the playoff bracket?
In the playoffs, yeah.
Oh,
in the playoffs, they've been... I mean, they get 2-2-1s, I think, right? And then 1-2-0, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, Abed has been just god tier. He's been on another level for... And it's funny because in the NADPC, he was really good, obviously, but, you know, we're talking about a different skill level with a lot of the teams. But in both majors specifically, it feels like he's hitting like this peak of mechanical skill that we're been accustomed to seeing in these big tournaments. And I don't know if there's any... I don't know what the storyline is exactly, but obviously Abed is originally an SEA player, playing against an SEA team now, as we see 23 Savage taking some damage, but he'll be more than fine, as these illusions are just going to be more of an annoyance than anything.
Pretty tanky against the Naga illusions in lane, obviously, with that armor. So the base damage of the illusions is not as significant as against other carries, but he's still getting shut down very nicely here by EG, and it seems like a very clear, targeted plan here from them. Remaining in that tri lane for this long is something that they have not done very much. And even though they're not finding kills, they should have a pretty good read that they're definitely slowing down Terrorblade's farm. However, when you're dual laning against a tri-lane and neither team is pulling, Terrorblade should be out-leveling them, and he can just choose to go jungle on level 4. And then it's a matter of, did you accomplish enough, Abed?
Oof, yeah, that's a lot of damage to the illusory orb. Rune, will be the water rune taken by Abed again, and now Carl,
that is not what happened. You gambled and you lost,
yes,
not up.
That is true. First blood goes the way of Whitemon in that bot lane.
They just first blooded in the 2v3 lane. Obviously, Crit wasn't there. He was securing the bottom water. And Fly must have just been caught out. That's a kill I would not have looked for.
Yeah, and Ice dies in the top lane as well.
This one is more likely. That's a 2v1.
That is 2v1, like, yeah.
And Darkseer Clock, definitely a lane that can pressure Tide. Just Tide usually very good against these heroes that are right-click based because of Kraken Shell. But the amount of damage over time, with Magic especially, it's very strong against
nice
them.
blocks here. See if that actually connects. Yeah, Savage. 23 Savage is going to take a lot of right clicks. Is forced to just try to take out Crit in the meantime. Looks like they might trade. Will finally be the case, but of course, 23 Savage was the first to die. Now Arteezy surrounding Whitemon with those illusions.
He's going.
Looks like he should be good to go. Meanwhile, first coil of the game, and there we go. Abed just barely had the advantage in terms of XP, and as a result gets the solo kill on Carl, which is somebody we have yet to talk about. This bottle will be refilled now. But Doom mid, as we're seeing some replays here. That was the first kill on to Fly. And then the kill onto Ice. So wow, that was actually a solo from Zephyr.
When you get isolated as Tide against a hero with Ion Shell, I think honestly Clockwork might be the single best support in the game at killing Tide in these situations. When you have Ion Shell, he can kill him 100-0 if he gets isolated out in the open with no creep wave. And there's the start of the first kill. So Fly going out to the side there, probably trying to get some information about the side camps.
Yeah, vacuum into the cogs. It's like Ice can take a lot of damage, but beautiful impale from Crit onto 2. They're going to find 1 kill, possibly a second. Cuckoo gets that salve off in the trees, attempting to TP out. Abed will not find him.
Abed's been really good at finding people in the trees, but didn't have the orb ready. Of course, did use it already, so can't get that kill. T1 will force rotation though, so Terrorblade should be relatively safe now to play as he wants bottom. It seems to be a jungle path coming up for 23 Savage.
Let's talk about Carl for a moment here. He's had a very good tournament, obviously, as have, I mean, pretty much every member of T1. Thoughts on Doom mid? Because a lot of these games we're seeing the offlane, they get really farmed, but it's kind of a different place. I mean, I guess you're kind of playing the same thing, but it's a Doom mid where, do you like that this game? Give them more options, less options, a little bit more flexible?
I think it really depends what item build he goes, how much I like it. Because I think his primary job in this game should be to counter Puck. And with a mid Doom, you get more levels and on average more gold than the offlane Doom. So maybe you could see him transition into some faster items that you wouldn't usually maybe consider, like Shadow Blade against the Puck, so you can get the Doom out. Or, you know, you could just go for the standard Hood Dagger, BKB,
right,
Refresher Shiva build or whatever. We're going to see what he chooses to go for. He probably goes like just standard. Hood is amazing against the Dire, and he is working on that currently. Almost has it.
Yep, Siege kept alive here. Ice, trying to prevent Cuckoo from pulling this wave any further. A lot of damage being done to this tier 1 tower. Of course, Ice is level 6 with that Ravage available. They'll finally have to concede this Siege, but damage has been done for the most part.
Yeah, they got a lot done.
Fly getting some nice XP mid in the meantime. I mean, it's only 7.5 minutes, and I mean, level 4, not too shabby.
Yeah, Abed did give him that lane space and started rotating top, but it looked like EG just conceded the move. They maybe had bigger plans there to consider diving that tower. They managed to place some really good vision in that top area. EG definitely look like they have big plans to take over the enemy triangle against this Terrorblade, which makes a lot of sense. But that time around, it was not enough with the siege creep, so probably going to do it again, minute 10. All right, Arteezy getting 2 courier kills.
Yeah, 8-minute rune, coil onto 2. And it looks like, again, we're going to get the kill here in all likelihood as Carl. Okay,
box.
He gets off the hood. And meanwhile, the Doom goes off onto Abed instead into the stomp as well. Beautiful turnaround from T1.
That was such an outplay.
Very nicely played.
Very, very good. Awesome cogs coming out from Zephyr. And then Carl baiting with the hood, turning around, getting that Doom off on Abed. He was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that. He was super low on HP, but yeah. Hood blocking a lot of that magic damage, of course. All right, well,
looks
I mean,
like
with that gives Carl the lead in the mid.
Yep, he is of course also playing with Devour level 4, so will be overtaking more than likely every hero in the game. Doom with max Devour will usually be top net worth, and then it's a matter of whether the items you buy with it can compensate for the hero's weaknesses. I want to point out we're seeing a double hood build on T1. Both the Darkseer and the Doom getting it as their first primary item. Might be a hint that T1 really want to play fast and look to fight. Because obviously Hood doesn't offer much in the way of split pushing and farming. It is predominantly a fighting item. Maybe that's their read on this whole Naga versus Terrorblade matchup.
We're going to see the ensnare into the cold feet combo, but Whitemon does get off his Arctic burn and able to get to the low ground, but getting chased now with that gush from Ice, the patented taunt coming through. Cold Embrace, but Illusory Orb is coming and they'll finally clean him up. Makes it a little bit longer for Whitemon, creating just a tad more space. As I mean, are we going to see anything in terms of itemization from Arteezy that would be out of the ordinary? I mean, Yasha, I mean, is Diffusal even a thing on this hero anymore?
I think Manta Scotty looks pretty good in this game. You want to be able to run in and be sustainable enough that you can take these fights. Like if you recognize what you're playing against here, right? It's double Ion Shells, it's the Vacuum Wall. You're playing into Scorched Earth. You probably need to be pretty tanky. Oh, this is a really bad matchup for Naga, by the way. Can't cast spells. Fly's going to walk in to try to allow for a mirror image.
Finally, the song comes out and Fly out of the range of Battery Assault, and Arteezy just TPs out. The tower was literally 1 hit away. I'm actually a little bit surprised they didn't go for that.
He could deny it, no.
It didn't have vision on the bottom area of the map, obviously, under that tower.
That might seem like it wasn't that good for Zephyr because he didn't kill anyone, but... Nice he forced Song, TP out from Naga, and got AA low and forced him away too, right? So, like, considering you were one support accomplishing all of these things and then denying the tower, that was a really high impact play from him.
And Battery saw good against both Naga and Tide, actually.
Yeah.
So pretty nice
sure.
matchup overall. Oh, 23 Savage is going to get a blasted here with crit from the sideline, but the illusory orb might come first, and that is enough to shatter him. Abed, very nice kill, and he didn't even take any of the Ancients, I don't believe. And now they know that there's a stack here.
Yeah. You have to protect this area with a lot of... you need to put focus here as T1. They're trying to find a ward that doesn't exist, by the way, just based on the way that they moved in.
Right.
He had a feeling that there is an Observer, but the Observer is in the lane. Nothing
Intuition.
in the triangle here. And, yeah. This is going to be the name of the game. EG will want to kill this Terrorblade as many times as they can while he's farming the triangle to try to make a sizable gap for the Naga Siren, which is already the case. Arteezy is 1,500 net worth ahead, as a matter of fact. The only reason this game looks even on gold is the Devour that is keeping Doom ahead of the Puck. And Darkseer has a 500 lead on the Tide.
Yeah.
The supports are neck and neck. There's almost no difference.
Yeah, so Carl, obviously, we talked about the Hood. We'll be going for BKB next. I mean, right
Very
now,
interesting build-up.
were you expecting a Blink Dagger? Their initiation right now is obviously Hook Shot.
Yeah.
Darkseer doesn't have anything in terms of initiation quite yet.
I think Blink would be really good this game so that he can combine with Clock. Like, if Clockwork sees a really good hook shot on the Puck, you have no guaranteed way of connecting the Doom unless you have Dagger. Clock himself, if there's no counterplay from a Ravage or a Hex from Lion, you can maybe get a Cog knockback as well for a little bit of extra stun. But for Doom to connect on that actually takes quite a while. I would like to see a Dagger for that. But he is prioritizing flat out just BKB. They just want to run at them, I think. That's the mentality they're building their items for. Setting up for Terrorblade to have one item, and then maybe you just go with that.
Zephyr looks for the initiation, does connect onto Fly. Looks like that will be the sacrifice for EG, but the Finger of Death ends up getting the trade. Now we have a curse onto Fly himself, as Abed is beating the crap out of him right now, but it looks like it's going to get turned around before a kill can come out onto Crit. So 2 supports for T1 take a tumble here.
Crit had a lot of Magic Wand charges there, keeping him alive.
And he's already halfway to his Blink, so not too shabby of a start for him.
Arteezy is very rich, actually.
Well, he did win a lot of tournaments in his lifetime, so
yeah.
makes sense.
He is he's 2K ahead of the Terrorblade. All of that tournament experience.
So, whoa, look at this. 3 belts of, what is that called? The Elven Skin?
Band of Elven
Skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever build?
Bands?
Do you ever build treads with that?
So
by
I guess
the way,
this is Yasha plus Dragonlance, right?
Yeah.
But he's not queuing up the Dragonlance currently.
It's the full S and Y. It looks like as well. At least for now. We'll see what he ends up doing. But Carl still, well, he was top of the net worth, but being eclipsed now, as we're going to see, he's actually going to pop that ult from Abed. Will this actually be enough to shatter him? Absolutely, with the AA ult coming out. But here's a counter initiation. But again, counter initiation from Ice with the Ravage. End up taking out the AA in turn, but this is a great trade for EG if they continue on. Crit. All right, we're going to get a song now from Arteezy, repositioning. Looking to get this kill onto the Clockwork. This is going to be a nice anchor smash.
I was right.
Earth Spike as well. Double kill for Arteezy. Now 23 Savage on the run. Cuckoo trying to mitigate a little bit of that damage for his friend, but he's going to drop as well. 4 for 1, the very least for T1. 23 Savage does survive.
And that was without having... Wait. No, EG did use absolutely everything, actually. I think maybe they didn't have Finger. That would be it. Yeah, they used every other ult. Ice Blast again.
Yeah, Carl being spotted out. Waning Rift into the Illusory Orb. He might shatter here again.
Damage.
My goodness, EG off to a very good start, and this looks like a tier 1 tower now in their name.
If you roll back and think about the draft, I think it caught T1 off guard that EG were willing to open with AA Lion in that first phase. And really, that AA pick is paying massive dividends in killing off the Doom, in negating AA's Cold Embrace. We're seeing a replay of the fight here. So good counter initiation here from Zephyr, but there's just too much in the tank for EG. And with Arteezy coming in with that song, that's what really sets up this fight. Because at this point, it looked like it was maybe going to be a 2 for 1.
Right.
But the Song of the Siren, very well placed. And T1, they make the call here to try to fight, which I think is just overall a bad decision.
You can see Fly very passionate there.
They could have got both Darkseer and Terrorblade out of there by running northwest, but Darkseer was thinking about fighting and ended up being collateral damage. So EG in a great spot here. 2k gold up against a mid-Doom. So under normal circumstances, this is probably a 3 to 4k.
Yeah, there's a hook shot from Zephyr. Looks like Fly dead again. Gets off the Ice Blast, but not much else will occur here. There's a very low cooldown on that ult. Ice. It looks like we had the hood on Cuckoo. Can we click on Ice Ice Ice? I want to see what the counter... Yeah, so he has basically the same items, but we'll be going for the Blink Dagger.
Foot
so
Dagger is great.
not too far. I mean, they're going to have double Blink not too far away from both him and Crit.
Yeah.
And that's going to set up a lot for this potential team fight of EG.
It gives EG a lot of potential ways of executing fights, right? Like, you look at the T1 lineup, and I think their initiation is a lot more dependent on one specific spell, and that hookshot.
All right.
That's a lot of damage from our
Winter Scarf.
Easy.
Ice 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 is the one taking the brunt of the damage right now. He gets off his Ravage. Oh, Ice Blast again off cooldown. Not going to be enough to get a kill, at least not yet. With the coil coming out, that's a 1-for-1, but you lose Ice Ice Ice. And I think T1 definitely takes this trade any day of the week.
They do for sure. 1-for-1, core for support, and Ravage used. It's not bad. And coil, which is a little bit more of a, you know, it's a lower cooldown. It's not as important to force out as the Ravage, but it does mean they have a small moment of opportunity here, or at least that they have a breather for their Terrorblade to keep farming. Obviously, still Arteezy with a big lead over him, but the top tier 1 tower under it will be claimed by 23 Savage.
Yeah, now he's starting to get some of these items that make him a tanky boy. We saw Doom now has the BKB, so...
I wonder if this Sanjin Yasha is worth it here.
He's just emphasizing to his team that they need blinks badly right now.
Good
but
hook
Zephyr
shot.
has been getting some good hooks, and we see this again. Crit.
That's a deadline.
Looks like AA Blast will come in, but don't think EG want to follow this up with anything. I mean, Zephyr is their only initiation right now, and I mean, he's been doing a good job. Can't really fault him at all. I don't think he's missed a hook shot yet. And we've only seen one Doom from Carl, I think, this entire game, right?
Yeah, it was a high-impact one onto the puck, of course, but yeah. Largely has been on the receiving end of just being blown up by Ice Blast combos with Coil or with Lion. But definitely seeing from T1 here what the logic was behind the Clockwork pick, finding a lot of good openings on Lion and AA. And is this 3 hoods on the Radiant? It's 3 hoods, right? Doom, Darkseer, and Clock all rocking the Hood of Defiance. The one on Cuckoo even upgraded into a pipe, so that means all 3 of them have like an extra one.
Yeah,
kind of.
Very
well,
tanky.
except Darkseer himself. There's a lot of magic block coming out, and I do think from T1, you're probably waiting on Terrorblade's next item, and then I think you want to try to find a fight where you just overpower. Like, see if you have enough blocking to fight them head on. It is a serious amount of mitigation coming out here. If you pipe both of your other hood carriers and they go in, the amount of damage block that they have against all of EG's lineup is pretty massive. Oh, White Mun's going to get found here.
There's the double blink being shown. Nice impale onto 2. AA Blast to fall. The Wyvern's already dead to start things out, though. Again, though, it will be a trade as Crit is quite squishy indeed. Weren't expecting maybe that many members of T1 there, so it'll just be a trade of supports. But Wall was expended here. That's a relatively long cooldown.
Carl is going Kaya Sanj.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's a first. Huh.
Where the dagger at?
Oh,
There
he's
it
changed
is.
it. Thank you for listening, Carl. Yeah, very close to finishing that bad boy, and I mean, we'll see where the team fight comes from there.
Do you think we could get an anti-caster meta where all players just start putting items that they really don't want into quick buy?
I mean, that's what happens at the end of games when players destroy their items to screw over the statisticians, right?
That's true.
Or just
go
buy a bunch of
triple
Desos.
Yeah.
Exactly, and yeah, it looks like Abed will be going Lincolns into Deso, which pretty
Standard against Doom.
self-explanatory. Yeah, but yeah, and you're right. They have a ton of burst damage, but most of it is magical. So these 2 hoods and pipe. I mean, I guess in the next team fight we'll really see the power of it.
And the scary physical component of Naga is it still takes a while. Like, Naga is a hero that needs a lot of items before it really starts kicking in, and that's why it's not a very popular hero at the moment, because the games on, like, usually the game progression is too fast for Naga to be able to farm up enough. But if you do get
the instant crit, jump in with the Hex, AA Blast into the Finger of Death. He is the one hero that doesn't have a pipe or a hood, so
very visible.
That does make sense.
I think a bit of a blunder here from
we have a vacuum. Yeah, Winter Skirt. Perhaps this will save Cuckoo as Carl's gonna pop his BKB. The Doom finally comes out. Ice Ice Ice's Ravages. Doom was applied to Mr. Abed, who will
nice
drop.
deny.
Yeah, you're right. Deny from Arteezy. Beautifully done. That was through a BKB. Carl beating onto him as well as Arteezy getting a little bit low, but he has the ensnare. Diffusal blade to follow. And this is actually doing so much damage, but the cold embrace is going to save him from now. Nice hook shot from Zephyr, and they end up netting that kill on Arteezy. So it's a 2-for-1 after an amazing start for EG. They've lost their position 1 and 2. Now Carl getting surged up, has the Iron Shell applied, crit with very little mana to work with. Likely will fall as a result of this, and now Cuckoo and company able to clean up basically everybody from EG. Ice, the lone remaining member of EG. This is after losing their Terror Blade at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, they did a really good job. The vacuum into Curse and then dooming the puck. I thought it was going to end up not being that good because of the deny from Arteezy, but the hookshot follow-up from Zephyr being able to isolate Naga after the fight just made it very, very clean for them. And now that 23 Savage is back, yeah, I mean, he died, but that also means he has all of his stuff right now. Abed will defend.
I don't know if they can get this. I mean, the death timers were pretty low. I mean, it's only 21 minutes in the game.
All right, let me give you a question here. So
you're going to give me a question?
Yes, let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay, you can give it to me too if you want.
You can have it as well.
So
this is a replay, Shannon, don't cast it. So
thank you.
Imagine in real life that a hero from Dota runs at you with Surge.
Okay.
Which one is scariest? Doom has to be top 3.
Man, you're putting me really on the spot here. I mean, Pudge is disgusting in a different way.
It was actually
right?
a Hex Doom, so it was
gonna get initiated on now. Again, the AA blast. They have so much burst damage, and even with this tanky, can't get this BKB at all.
Monster kill on Abed because he got denied.
That's true.
So his killing streak is still going.
That is true.
Which can be both a good and a bad thing, depending on who would have got the kill bounty.
I mean, Doom is literally Satan, right? So it does make sense that he would be one of the scariest.
So he was a Satan fish.
That's true. Okay. Well, I'll have to think about. I'll have to ponder that for a little bit here.
You've got time. We're gonna kill Roche here. EG with that kickoff on Doom will be definitely getting this, and they found
link into the Hex, and we've seen this combo before. You lose your ore back into the pit, min-maxing for Abed. That is min-maxing at its best. He's actually going to TP out, so Arteezy will take this Aegis. No hookshot available, so won't be any, not even in the vicinity actually, just for vision there. But Arteezy, Aegis for 5.
He should take this Aegis actually.
Because of the killing spree?
Not really so much that, but just like if you think about the way T1 takes fights and how anti-puck centric it is, maybe for EG you could take more map control by having the Aegis on the puck. Okay, they're just gonna flat out run in and Doom Ice,
yeah.
And he's dead.
Infernal Blade is there. He's just trying to run back into them so that, well, just for fun.
Carl gets that kill. All right, Cuckoo. Surprisingly on Darkseer, choosing to buy the Mithril Hammer and not have buyback without having the BKB recipe. Pretty unlikely to be relevant that you have this hammer on Darkseer. Could become very relevant that you don't have buyback, depending on what EG have planned for the next few minutes. So I have to say, disagree with that choice. I don't know if there was any benefit in terms of unreliable gold there, like if he almost only had unreliable or whatever. But I think maybe holding on to gold there would have been better. Oh, the hookshot misses.
Oh boy, that's the first one miss for Zephyr here.
Zephyr is so tanky. Look at his items. Hood Vanguard over.
Vanguard, wow. Yeah.
Very good item against Naga, of course. Buys him time in the fights when he keeps getting hit by the illusions. Cuckoo, or rather,
he's going to get instant Hex after blinking in aggressively. AA Blast to follow again. Finger of Death, not enough damage. He pops the BKB, and Carl will survive as a result, but they can't really do anything with that. And again, Ice Blast, I mean, Finger of Death is a decently long cooldown at this level, but you haven't really expended that much for EG, but still have 3 minutes left on this Aegis. And I think they actually just take that trade for the BKB charge, honestly.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you don't use anything really crucial. They didn't Ravage, they didn't Song. Their spells will be up again pretty soon.
Zephyr is going to run right into Ice, gets off the hookshot, wants to go back aggro. Gets Earth Spike now as EG. They're wondering if there's anybody else nearby, and not really, as the rest of T1 are just leaving Zephyr to die, at least for now. But actually, they're going to catch out Cuckoo in the meantime with that Ravage in the wall. Whitemon gets Gush on the high ground, and Abed, they're just picking these guys off all over the place right now. I don't think T1 were on the same page there in that aggro play from the clock.
They might have been, but just been counterplayed, right? Like, I don't necessarily think conceptually that that's a bad hook shot, but they got cut off. They couldn't follow through because of the wall that each basically placed down there with both Tide and Puck just zoning them off from connecting. A very heads-up play from them to very quickly prevent T1 from following through there. And this should, I mean, I feel like this game is in this interesting state right now where, you know, EG are sitting on a 1k gold lead. You could be like, that doesn't matter. One team has Doom, so obviously there's that Devour factor as always, but this feels like anyone's game all the time. Even with a 5 to 10k lead for either team, I really think just initiation matters so much. This Ice Blast is gonna clip.
Yeah, it will. Abed with that Deso being shown. Now Carl pops the BKB and is fine as well, but that's yet another BKB charge.
Yeah. Puck not sitting on the Axe coil yet. Doesn't even have, as a matter of fact, didn't have coil ready.
Do you think he's going to be going for the Ags? I mean,
I don't know, actually. That's a good point.
Last
He might
time
not
he
even get it.
Yeah, last time it was like, what, a 50-minute game? He ended up getting it from Roche. He didn't even try buying it at any point. So,
I wonder if teams this late into the tournament are genuinely planning around third Roche as part of their itemization when they're 20 minutes in. They're like, our experience with the games and how they're going, and it's Naga versus Terrorblade, maybe you don't want to buy an Axe because you feel like you can get it for free later.
Yeah,
it is a big investment.
It is an old school matchup that we haven't really seen too much of, that's for sure. Is Butterfly now on RTZ?
I reckon he's going to go Scotty or Heart next. Heart being a very good item against Doom, but I do think that Scotty has a lot of value overall against multiple of T1's heroes. Just the ability to get that first swing off. You do have the Diffusal, of course, but BKBs are on the way. Oh, they're going to jump again.
EG are initiating so nicely. Always on the same page this game.
Their wards are super good so far.
Yeah, we saw Fly go in there not too long ago. It's a nice blink there to be able to not get latched to the ensnare. But yeah, we can see these aggro wards that are just giving so much vision for EG right now. But of course, going high ground is going to be really difficult. I mean, you have a Winter's Curse, and you talked about, I mean, even with the discrepancy in gold that we're talking about, like Doom is a little bit deceiving in terms of the gold lead, you can still delete a hero in the right situation with that ability. So T1 definitely not even remotely out of this right now.
And there's a lot of good stuff from T1 on defense with how their heroes work. You have Vacuum into Cogs.
We're going to have a defense here, knowing that this Aegis is about to be expended.
Good orb. Oh, he jumped
Abed jumps in. He's not scared. All right, Carl showing off that BKB and Shiva's. There's the song. Question is, can they deny Abed again? That is a negatory. 9 kill streak given to Carl himself.
I can't believe he jaunted that. He saw that it was a Doom. He jaunted in against the Doom with BKB Shiva.
Yeah.
And he just pops his items and dooms him. And it's like, yeah, you can Song of the Siren, but Doom has a 6-second BKB, which is going to remain that for the rest of the game. That's plenty of time to get Abed in kill range. And that's a huge kill. That was like a 1k gold bounty, I think he got out of that.
Yeah, that was quite large.
A really big kill.
I mean, you can see the net worth discrepancies now in terms of the heroes. We have 23 Savage getting back into second place now, which is kind of where he wants to be. I mean, would you expect, like in a regular game, like forget about Doom for a second, Naga, Terrorblade, farming, Naga should be farming faster at this stage, right? Usually, just a little bit.
I don't know. I think it's
like,
pretty
it's
even.
Crazy.
Like if you look at the big picture in this game, Arteezy was I think 2,500 gold ahead 10 minutes ago, and now he's only 1,500 ahead. So I don't know if that's a symptom of other heroes taking specific farm on the map, or if he has been just outplayed by 23 Savage in terms of overall efficiency. My gut says that Terrorblade does farm faster in general, actually, but I'm not much of an illusion hero player, so I feel like...
Well, look at it this way. At this stage of the game, who are you favoring right now? Because I've seen a lot of these games against, you know, with EG playing the Naga, it doesn't really end well in a good portion of them. Like this hero, I'm not a big believer. I feel like T1, if I had to give the advantage right now, despite being down in buildings, I'd still give them a good shot here.
All right,
initiation, a blast to follow into the finger of death. Okay, caster curse is real. Carl drops dead next to his tier 3 towers, and now the song to try to save Ice, Ice, Ice. Looks like it'll be a successful one, and they're gonna get this tier 2 tower.
Yep.
And EG will get out just fine.
I do see where you're coming from. Like in general, it does feel like Terrorblade is a stronger hero than Naga for the most part. So if you keep in mind that most of the rest of the game is relatively even, I do see it. That's honestly the primary reason, though, that I would like the Radiant lineup more. It's just that I'm more biased towards Terrorblade than Naga as a game-winning hero.
Yeah.
Just based on experience and watching other games. But in the right hands and with the right coordination, Naga can win this game for sure. Always going to be that wild card of Doom. That's the other thing. Like, let's say we go late game. So EG had some great solutions yesterday against the Doom of Vici Gaming, where they went like triple Lincolns. But the difference in that game was that they were controlling the whole map for like 20 minutes. They just mega out-farmed. And it doesn't seem like they can get the same iron grip on the map in this game because you're playing against constant ion shells, constant split push from Terrorblade Illusions, Rocket, Flare, Wyvern just going to a lane and dropping a Splinter. There's plenty of ways for T1 to actually re-access the map. And man, I just gotta again highlight EG's warding. Look how beautiful vision they have in this top area of the map. Just some really, really good wards constantly placed out here, which has enabled them to find these like 10 Blink Hex pickoffs that have put them in the position that they're in.
And Roche is now up, so second Roche of the game. We did see a smoke from T1 in EG's jungle, but they're not going to be able to find anything. Shard now online for Fly, by the way. He was highlighting that for a good portion of the game. This gives the Ice Vortex some damage over time so that you can push waves.
Yep. Reduces attack speed by 20. Somewhat irrelevant, I would say. It's okay against the wall, I guess, primarily. Both the Doom and the Terrorblade will... I guess against Terrorblade Illusions, everything matters, right?
Yeah,
you should always be able to place them under the artillery in the back. All right, this is a key moment.
Yep, Carl with the Ion Shell applied right now.
A successful smoke here will give them Roshan. There's a positive scan from the Dire, which is now turned neutral.
Carl jumps in, but there's the song to counteract this immediately. Crit getting really low. The reflection, but there's the hook shot. Nicely done from Zephyr. Can he finish it off, though? The Hex into the A. Blast coming in just for the clockwork glow this time. So they've expended quite a bit just to take out that support. And now the Doom applied to Ice Ice Ice. It was not ravaged yet. It's a 1-for-1 to start things out. Coil onto 3. Looks like EG wants to disengage completely. Buyback onto Fly from base. RTZ getting pretty low, but there's all the damage with the Lion ult onto 23 Savage. Can he turn this around on Arteezy? He's trying to run away. Of course, Song is down, but the right clicks from Abed doing so much damage. Now Sunder's already been used. Double kill for Abed. Arteezy will actually live, and they get 3 kills off the buyback of Fly somehow.
Imagine
another no position 1, 2, or 3 die from EG.
They got Ravage off, but they still have Ravage. Lion hit an insane Earth Spike from the high ground. 3-man Earth Spike from Crit. He managed to...
Crit's really good at the game, some say.
He escaped with like 20% health and ends up playing Ice Ice Ice's hero while he's doomed. You're going to see it in a second here. So they kill Fly. Look below here. Crit lining up next to the Centaurs. Apparently the big Centaur got vacuumed into trouble. That's
always scary.
That stun. That is the fight-winning stun. Without this one, Arteezy dies here.
100%.
Beautifully done by Crit. Finding that angle and having the patience too.
And the reflection with the Manta dispelling it. That's as close as it gets here.
It's kind of a game of chance whenever this butterfly illusions are there, right? Like, are you going to dodge your own attacks or not?
That's true. All right, EG find yet another kill on the backside here. T1 still don't have their Terrorblade, and Ice Blast is up again, so that's going to be an easy one. And like we said, Roche is up. I thought they were going for it, but they ended up looking for some kills here instead. Yeah, they've basically taken it down to half HP with the ward giving.
It's going to be very telling for T1's approach to the game now, whether they buy back or not for this Roche. Because they could buy back now and rush up there with smoke and get there in time. It's a very high commitment play. It looks like their judgment is Roche is not going to win EG the game straight up. We think we can defend against Aegis Cheese. And the Shard, which is going to Naga.
Siren, so 20% slow and increase the base armor reduction by 4 for Riptide. Okay.
How much minus armor? 8.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
That is.
And he has an Orb of Destruction
twice as much as 4.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd be learning math today from Professor Cinderman.
My goal is to teach you something every cast, and it's very easy. I just need to say something.
4 times 2 is you teaching me something. Okay, well that shows a lot what you think of my intelligence.
2 times 4, though, but...
Okay, yes, very different indeed. 6K net worth lead now for EG, and they're going to get this tier 2 for free. So that is all the outer towers now in their favor. Of course, I don't know. I'm not counting out T1 yet.
That was a really big moment, though.
It was. I mean, the game was even net worth-wise. Now it's obviously ballooned in EG's favor.
That talent, by the way, level 20 talent on Terrorblade, I didn't realize he has that. That's crazy good.
Which one?
8-second Conjure Image duration.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
What an insane talent, actually, on that hero.
Yeah, Arteezy is doing a lot of damage. Of course, like I said, Orb of Destruction is there, so Minus armor on the
Oh,
towers.
that nice split push.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Zephyr has to hook shot. Oh, okay, turned around now. Ice Blast is there. Can they actually finish off Cuckoo? And they're going to use the Winter's Curse for now, but BKB's already popped. Looking for the Doom potentially. Remember, Aegis still on Arteezy. He pops the song now, but with the coil, maybe a little bit miscommunication here as EG looks to disengage.
Yeah. I think getting out of there is fine. You forced Wall, you forced Sunder, Curse. A lot of things happening there. Wait, did it just say armor lowered by 12? So is it 12 or 8? So is the 8 the regular Riptide and now
Maybe.
it's +4?
Maybe.
I would trust the tooltip if it wasn't because if it wasn't for the reason that the tooltips are wrong 40% of the time.
40%.
So
Oh, that's...
very specific, I know.
It is very specific. Learning something again today. Thank you.
I actually don't know if it's -8 or -12. I don't play Naga and I never play against
Nobody
it.
plays Naga. That's the problem.
I do think the base Riptide is
Oh,
-8.
they're going to find Cuckoo, it looks like. Yep. So much
All right.
squishier when the Ice Blast is applied. Does have buyback, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be
get the tier
expended.
4, though, or the tier 3. Now
Arteezy
Arteezy
is so
focusing
strong.
on the range creep.
Backpack Abyssal Blade.
It looks like the range racks will fall.
Backpack Diffusal Blade.
I mean, you have stronger items, so... Although he does have treads.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you backpack the treads, but he's valuing the move speed here. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And this should be at least one lane.
Are they? Okay, they're going to jump in with Carl. He gets that Doom off. It's again, Aegis is still on Arteezy, so I don't even know if he cares about dying right now. There's the big ultimate from Ice Blast to follow. It's only going to hit one here, it looks like, but there's the coil onto 3. Abed taking Wyvern out of the fight immediately, still has his ult, will buy back into the game though. And now the Doom again applied to Arteezy. Looks like they'll finally take him out successfully without the Aegis this time. Now see if they can turn the things around. There's the beautiful ult from Crit, taking out Doom again. And with that, we'll see if Abed can clean anybody else up. Cuckoo, this would be a dieback if he continues to go in here, but there's the Winter's Curse finally. Cuckoo, Anchor Smash, and the right click from Ice is enough to take him out. And there, Ice with the refresher. Looks like they'll find Zephyr in all likelihood with the right clicks from Abed, definitely. And with this Deso, you can continue to take these racks. Absolutely no problem.
And that was a kind of a Hail Mary play from T1, to be honest. They used the refresher on their Doom to kill Naga twice.
Yeah, once with the Aegis, once without.
Yeah, both Dooms expended for that, and obviously that means the rest of EG's crew just get free fights. Puck using seemingly 100 spell volleys. They had their own refresher on Ice there, looking to be mega creeps. This doesn't necessarily end the game with the lineup that the Radiant has, but
it's close.
It's very close, and it is 100% going to be megas here. This is one of the beautiful things about Puck mid with this build, is that you can actually take barracks when your carry is dead with this mid hero.
Backdoor. Crit needs to hit it. There you go.
Double hit from Puck with the phase shift attack.
It was crit. They needed Lion's auto attack.
Okay.
All right. Mega creeps are for EG. Of course, this is only game 1 of this best of 3. But EG are definitely primed to win
what
the first one.
What a great fight from EG again.
Yeah, here we go. We can see, I believe the first Doom was already used here, right? This was the second one.
You see, you're going to see here 23 Savage pretty confidently going forward. He's just going to get blown up by Tide Puck and a little bit of a cold feet here. Just feeling confident with Naga taken out of the fight that he can still go in, but if you have any less than half health, the spells from EG are still very much potent enough to kill you off. I'm going to see the longest mana drain I've seen in my entire life apparently did not get cancelled there from Crit.
Perfectly normal for Lion players.
Yep.
Of course, has that shard, so the magic immunity comes through with it as well.
Insane shard against Clockwork. It means if you get hookshot jumped, you can just mana drain and stay alive.
That's true, actually.
Arteezy looks very unhappy to trade his life for Mega Creeps. A true carry player.
Yeah.
It's not good enough if I die. Bad trade, guys. Keep me alive next time. I need 2 Aegis.
Honestly, I can relate with that. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Crit with only 3-finger kills here, or 3-finger charges specifically, but he still takes the 70 HP.
He does.
I feel like that's been the standard so far, and he takes the finger death damage per kill, so it's a whopping 60 extra damage. Pretty good, huh?
That's not retroactive, though.
I would assume it is.
I don't
that wouldn't make any sense. It's all initiation. Arteezy can get doomed again. His BKB was already applied.
He's fast. They're not getting him here.
Yeah, we got Abed here now with his coil. Carl pops that refresher orb. This is going to be the last stand for T1, it looks like. Gets the Doom off to Ice. But again, I don't think either of these guys are dying for EG. You can see 23 Savage going to work. The Doom is going to be the first one to die in this engagement. Song of the Siren means 23 Savage is the only member of T1 able to do anything, and for the time being, he's going to get ensnared now. They're just kiting him. The Hex from Crit into the Gush. He's going to get Cold Embrace for now. Still pretty freaking healthy, but they're just kiting him. Double kill for Abed as he's just going to town on everybody on the backside here. There's the Ravage from Ice on to 2. They're going to focus on 23 Savage. The double Ravage to follow. Already used Sunder. Triple kill for Abed, and GGs are called EG. They win a Naga game. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting this. But it looked good. It looked real good.
They found the counter to 23 Savage.
Yeah, I have to admit,
It's 23 Ravage.
23 Ravages?
I wonder how many they used that game. Probably,
not
that's
23.
quite a lot, though.
Not 23.
That's, if you count crit stuns as Ravages, some of them, you get there.
If you count every spell in the game, yeah,
That's
I think you're
Ravage.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely accurate.
Great game from EG. I think they played us
Arbor items. 508. Still need to get close. You get the top.
It's Dyer's turn to ban.
Dragonite stun. You're
Shadow Demon, maybe anything like that to enable. Lash's whole kit is predicated run in
Never a doubt in my mind.
faster than
10 seconds. It's radiant.
B wins that pass like the not good.
It's Dyer's turn.
YTB generally good. Timber Viper are probably the only two offlaners in the entire game that would make a Nyx.
I'm dead.
And Nyx is all about getting these pickoffs on the map. Usually gives you the macro advantage because who have to show on lanes die. Best part about
5
Terrorblade
seconds.
concept, because nobody can kill your illusions. Like, it doesn't feel good for a Nyx to go gank your illusion, clear it casually, which pickoff heroes like the Nyx. He's not like the Lion where he can.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
Illusions will be the ones buffer between themselves. So if they sentry up triangle on the side of EG, then he's going to be pretty well protected. All going to come down to, I think, Flesh being tower, assuming allowing them to invade the triangle.
assassin plus slash track. This was
10 seconds.
like the pick. You have your Lash covered. Carapace and
5 seconds.
shutting down potential. I mean, it's just good.
It's just the
matchup.
best carry matchup against carry, since TB has high armor, illusions, not generally countered by the carry, but PL's the one. TB is so decently bad against Naga. Like, you don't Naga like we saw last game, but it's not unplayable if you have PL's just, it never feels good.
Woo! Makes a lot of sense, guys, but I just don't know any other team that's gonna second pick a TB and then still feel like, oh yeah, they're probably gonna do just. Still believe that this is a undefeated Terrorblade the entire tournament.
Love
People
to see
see it.
a lot. Maybe it's not ideal against
Dyer's
Still
turn
fight
now.
Go for
It's Radiant's pick.
Chinese read. BKB, first item. Sunray off fight. Okay, I like this as
10 seconds.
I would prefer
5 seconds.
swap things around. Farm that act. Mid laner, so you have no mana.
Dyer's pick now.
No carries left.
Skywrath Mage.
I thought they were gonna go the
Radiant's pick.
The double doom.
it's
Doom.
like PK Sky off lane.
I think so.
You have to go Oracle, I think. Well, you have to save. Buy some
10
defense.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Side of T1, all in. Amount of items.
And how they're gonna stop them? Like, this very good
What's
flash
radiant's
stun,
plan
lightning
anyway?
slow you down while they're
10 seconds.
Like graphing
5 seconds.
off lane deep 5 Scott. That's
No,
not gonna
no.
happen.
Turn to ban.
mid tiny.
I should have seen that one coming. Just a dire ban.
Popular from other regions.
Surprised they didn't. There must be some other. Yeah, I'd say Shadow Demon's like better against.
10 seconds.
It's like when you come out of that disrupt,
5 seconds.
do like Warlock as like a. I like T1's draft a lot. I think Leshrac,
Radiant's turn
Carl,
to
is it
pick.
get like a.
I like Warlock. Fight and
10 seconds.
heal and just
5 seconds.
exactly what Warlock.
Or you can go for that very clutch.
5 Omni.
5. I would actually be down for 5 Omni. That.
You have a lot of stuns. Like, you have slows. Dragonite provides stun. Tiny. You have enough.
Dire's turn to pick.
Oh,
Okay. Stuns. Let's go.
all right.
That's
well,
more of a counter
Counter to-
initiate. That is like a disrupt.
Yes, where you want to reset the. Actually, Rock gives you the same higher cooldown.
10
Fight and
seconds.
It's amping up all their damage.
5 seconds.
Tiny sky. What I think they're saying that no amount of save. We can start the fight 5v4. That's like, I don't think that's the ideal way to take it, but I don't think better to like buy into an idea. You don't think. But now I'm liking. Life Stealer they've done before.
this Skyrat
Jug, there you go.
Always choose the right crew for the job.
still like the double doom that fight reset. This double doom.
what happens when Juggernaut? Oh
He splits in
Uh,
half.
my God!
Yeah, he splits in half, one leg, one arm.
when
just
it's
half
over,
the
he's
damage,
just
half the
dead.
Half
damage.
damage.
Oh my God!
That's crazy.
Very crazy environment. Love
You
it.
can even just a top to bottom, not. So,
Fantastic.
I agree. They are in the that can kill. Savage is very.
Well, Lacoste, I'd love to hear. Players are ready to play
Yeah,
this
let's let them
very
play.
exciting game. So let's go ahead and throw it on over to our casters. Sunspace.
Greetings, Sir Action Slack. Suns fan here with Cinder. We have the 3 between T1 and Evil Geniuses. Cinder and EG takes game 1. Stop smiling at me right now. They took it in pretty convincing fashion, I have to say. Will T1 come back and force a game number 3?
I do think they have pretty good chances based on the draft. They addressed a lot of the problems that they had. They got rid of the Lion as well as the Puck in 2 different phases, something that EG have been incredibly successful with in this tournament. So definitely making their adjustments. You do, of course, have to give up something, and they will give up Terrorblade that EG still haven't lost with, so that's probably bad news. But they've got a lot of the stuff that they like themselves. They got their hand on the Doom again. They've got a Nyx. They've got the Leshrac on Cuckoo, actually, which was a very impactful hero in the series against PSG LGD last night.
Yeah.
Over on EG's side, they're a little bit... they've switched to some heroes they haven't played as much. Fly on the Elder Titan is definitely a staple for him, but hasn't been picked too much this tournament. Skywrath on crit. So I do feel like T1 are taking them, I wouldn't say out of the comfort zone. It's not like anyone on the EG team is playing heroes they're not comfortable with, but it's definitely not like their #1 go-to priority heroes that they've got their hands on.
And I have to say, the hero that, at least the talent side, and I guess maybe the public to some degree, that people really hate this tournament because they think it's garbage, is Tiny. And we're continuing to see it, and EG have shown that they have the aptitude to play at position 4 or mid and find success with it, as Zephyr just takes a rune there.
Yoink.
And they're going to take 3 for T1 as a result.
Yeah, Tiny's win rate is pretty abysmal. It's got a little bit better in the playoffs, I think, toward the later portions, because teams picked it a little bit more wisely, I think. I believe it's 1 and 8 on support, and something like 4 and 8 or something along those lines on core. So still not great, but in the right conditions can be a nice pick still. Usually what you're looking for with Tiny is the ability to, first of all, have a good lane matchup in mid, and secondly, be able to burst specific enemy heroes really easily. Obviously, one of the heroes you're happy to pick Tiny into is Leshrac. And might be part of the reason that T1 has chosen to put it off lane instead of mid.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, what do you think of the matchup mid though? It is Doom. It feels like this is maybe a somewhat farming lane. Unless you can reposition Doom onto the tier 1 tower with Toss into something else. Right. You think anything's actually going to happen in that lane aside from farming?
Funny tip there. Yeah, I don't know what 23 Savage was doing there. That was a very weird Blade Fury. I think it's pretty much a draw, that lane. If anyone comes out slightly ahead, it's probably Tiny, but that is strictly off having the tree, or maybe some slightly better denying than Doom.
Okay.
Overall, I think they're both just going to farm. And there isn't that much kill potential. Like, maybe, like you said, the toss into tower with the Skywrath rotation can get a kill on the Doom. The other way around, though, there's like almost no chance, right? Like, how on earth is Tiny going to die to a Doom? Doom has to run onto heroes. You have both Avalanche and Toss to get him away. So I don't think Carl will ever kill in this lane until he's level 6. And at that point, he might even need a rotation to pull that off. So that's the good news for Abed, is he will just be able to farm first blood.
Yeah, second Blade Fury for 23 Savage. The first one was a bit of a misclick, it looked like, but second one nets them the first blood.
They thought he didn't know what he was doing, but as a matter of fact, he knew what he was doing.
The ultimate, I mean, they are in the lower bracket final, so I would hope they realize that he is quite good indeed. As we did see, of course, RTZ pop in the meta pretty early here to be able to secure a ton of farm as Echo Stomp onto 2. And just before more harassment purposes as Fly. Once it comes back, he does get a ton of damage, but he's going to get Split Earth from Cuckoo. I mean, what are your thoughts on like off-lane Lesh? Because you talked about how they potentially moved that after seeing the lineup from EG.
I don't know. I think in this game it can work pretty well because they have a double stun lane against Terrorblade and Elder Titan, so they can hold their own at least and get farm. But Leshrac doesn't exactly have the best base damage to get CS against a lot of the safe lane carries. And with the ET protecting, I don't see kills being particularly likely for T1's lane either. Oh, Savage.
Oh my, Arcane Bolt's actually enough. All right, so they end up netting themselves a return kill once they TP back. So EG, evening things up. 15 and 2 CS right now versus the Abed Tiny 12 and 2. So Doom off to a pretty good start, and of course it's just going to amplify once that Devour starts being leveled up even more, as we've kind of talked about every single Doom game, but that is pretty much all you can talk about. They do have double Doom potential this game, though, with the Soulbind. I feel like we see this combo, and then it almost never happens in a game. Why is that? Is it just the positioning from Grim is difficult to pull it off?
The conditionals, right? First of all, Grim needs to hit a Soulbind. Doom needs to be in range and have Doom ready. Okay, well, they're going to chain him off.
All right. Here. Yeah, the Impale into the Split Earth, but
a lot of the time Doom lineups open fights with Doom, right? And if the Doom is going first, what are the odds you get a Soulbind? The enemy heroes need to be in range for the Soulbind. They need to be 2 heroes near each other, and Doom needs to be able to wait for that to happen. So it can be amazing. I think in this game, T1's chances of pulling it off are higher than normal because they have both. They have Nyx, who's a really great setup for a fight. He will run in, stun, Carapace for a long duration lockdown and force the enemy team to react. And when they react, that's when you can come in for your combo.
Zephyr getting chased by Fly, but he ends up netting himself a Water Rune and the bounty. So just Fly kind of just running around there. As we see the tier 1 tower now, Arteezy be able to right-click pretty easily with that meta. Again, that's be the second of the game. Wait, sorry, Observer, click on whoever you just clicked on. They already had the shard queued up in their inventory for an upcoming item. Yeah, just go through all the heroes. We'll get to it eventually, I'm sure. All right, not yet. No, okay, keep going. Yep, you keep it up. All right, we're getting there. There, almost. There we go. All right, 23 Savage.
Man, I really
Maelstrom
hope nobody
into Shard.
And you just let him go through every single hero.
I like trolling people, okay?
Too bad.
My apologies. But, I mean, Maelstrom Shard, that's pretty freaking strong. You can attack through the Blade Fury, you get extra attacks, or you get extra move speed while Blade Furying.
Yeah, and he's specifically itemizing against Terrorblade, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what you gotta do. On top of that, he probably identifies that this is the kind of game where he can get 100 to 0 in a Dragon Knight stun plus Skywrath and Tiny combo. So a lot of the time you will need to use your spells very early in fights, and therefore increasing the impact of Blade Fury is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's 23 Savage after that death. I mean, 17 and 2. He's going to get Dragon Tail, but mid lane, we're going to see the Abatos combination with the Ancient Seal, that extra damage coming through.
Very easy kill. Doom is a pretty tanky hero early on, especially after the armor buff, but this amount of overwhelming magic damage when you're on the enemy hill, you just can't handle it. Like, Tiny plus Skywrath will 100 to 0 him every time with level 2 Ancient Seal if everything lands. So I think he should pay a little bit more respect there on Karl in mid. So far, in terms of CS, EG are doing great. Leshrac offlane has 13 CS only for T1. Compare that to the Dragon Knight, who's doubling him up. Arteezy's doing very well as well. Basically, everyone on EG's team is happy right now.
Yeah. Oh, we have a haste on Abed. He gets the Avalanche into the toss, back into the fray. Crit again with the Ancient Seal. Fly is there. Can't really catch up, though. Scorched Earth is up and running, as we're going to see potentially Ice 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 take a tumble here.
Oh, nice kill.
So T1 finding some... I mean, they're up 1k, but of course, Doom effect and whatnot. But like you said, in terms of CS, EG doing quite well right now.
And the hero in the shot right now is really going to be my big question mark, is Cuckoo on that Lesh. Like, how much is this offlane Leshrac going to be able to output? A big part of this hero's strength for me is the timing that it hits early when it's mid, where you get Edict really fast and you start taking towers. You just never find that same impact from the offlane because you're sharing experience, and usually you get contested a lot on CS, so you don't get the key items as fast, which has exactly been the case in this game. Like, offlane Leshrac, just his base stats and base attack just kind of suck in 2v2. Like, he does way better in mid because you have this constant access to water runes, you buy bottle, so you're farming with spells. Karl will be fine here.
Yeah.
Was close though. Abed is really being a bully.
I mean, that combo has been nerfed time and time again, so it's actually a little bit surprising to me to see them get that close. We're going to see Echo Stomp connect onto Fly. He's going to be woken up though with the right clicks of Arteezy. Split Earth is not going to hit, and Arteezy nets himself a kill onto Cuckoo. Very
nicely placed stomp there from Fly. I think there was an escape path there for Cuckoo on the Lesh, but it was really hard to find it in that moment. Kind of just cornered him completely. On a burn. Very annoying for Abed, but he should be getting an 8-minute power rune here. They have full river control. They're going to place Fly in the bot rune. Abed is checking top, and he will find... Well,
it'll be an
invisibility. What a great rune for Tiny.
Yeah, that is a top tier one, no doubt.
He could look to kill Jugger with this, even.
Yeah,
together with Crit.
Yeah, Jug is second in net worth right now, so he's recovered nicely despite dying early on in lane.
That ward saw the smoke, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
That
this won't be
is
a surprise.
Pretty critical, because if this would have worked out, they definitely would have got a jug kill and maybe even the tower. Oh,
The question is, do they know that he has an invis rune on top?
Oh yeah, they didn't see the rune, so they saw the smoke.
He's not invisible anymore.
What?
So
Wait, what?
I'm not. Did he
Oh, he ran
bottle?
through a sentry.
Oh, okay, I see.
I didn't actually notice. He ran through the sentry and something saw him. He just broke it. All right, good
That'll
job from
waste a little bit
T1
of time.
dodging that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
I mean, this is what Tiny's all about. It's about the burst damage, getting off to a good start, and snowballing. There is potential for him to turn into a pseudo carry later with the shard, being able to right click, but I mean, we haven't really seen a ton of that in this tournament, especially from the mid position. But I mean, Abed is obviously capable of pretty much anything, so we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, typically, though, after the burst damage of the coming out with the blink dagger, something like an Echo Saber will normally come through, but
Ooh, this is bad for Whiteman.
yeah,
He's
Abed.
Someone is going to die
Waiting
here.
for the Ancient Seal to... Well, he's going to find Whitemon to start things out. He's going to get Science Phoenix to the Phantom's Embrace, but a double TP now for T1. Dragon Tail from Ice 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 into the Mystic Flare. That's going to net them 1 kill. The Doom already applied to Abed. It looks like he's pretty fast, though. Can he get away? Nice Echo Stomp. Is going to hold T1 in place, and as a result, Abed shall live. So that's going to be a wasted Doom in the end. But now the Dragon Tail, looks like Ice 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 finally takes out that Healing Ward. Avalanche not going to prevent the Blade Fury, but ooh, actually did get the kill. He's trying to TP out with that Blade Fury, but more than enough damage from EG. Arteezy died on the other side.
This is a side note.
Yeah, just a side note.
Yeah.
The position 1 of EG did die.
Got killed by Nick Slash. So if Arteezy doesn't die here, this is obviously a huge win for EG. I still think they're favored in this trade. Yeah, you're going to see it here. So that's the Honor Burn combination with the stuns, and Arteezy doesn't have Sunder skilled anyway. So both teams take a tower, and both teams kill the enemy carry. EG got a little bit of an extra kill there, and Doom was expended. So I will give them the victory there, but not by a lot. Good job from T1 to find a counterplay on the other side of the map. Kind of equalize the situation. So once again, we've got Carl with this first item hood.
Yeah, but this time he's going Blink second.
No.
Okay.
Every time we talk about his item, he changes it. I was like,
Yeah, what is
he
this?
did BKB last time when we mentioned it, he went dagger.
And it looks
But
like
this
Fly.
time, I didn't even get time to make the joke. He actually did it. All right, let's see. When he has like 1,500 gold, he's going to switch back.
Okay.
Maybe it's a
we'll see.
tick he has.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. We've seen that before. Many a time.
Oh, I thought
I
for
mean-
a second he switched to it.
What would you prefer this game, though? Do you actually agree with the BKB first?
I still think he should buy dagger.
Yeah.
I do think. But honestly, I think the dagger is less good first item than last game. I think you have a better case for buying BKB this time.
Ancient
good
Seal.
time.
Yep, they spot him out. Avalanche toss, and that just blows up Zephyr. Man, oh man. Yeah, the Sentry in the high ground spots him.
Skywrath
Nicely
is a really...
placed.
The Skywrath Nyx matchup is actually super interesting because everything is about information in that matchup. If Nyx sees Skywrath first and Sky doesn't have detection, Nyx can almost one-shot combo him. If it's the other way around, the Ancient Seal just blasts you with any spells. And you saw it right there. Easy kill for him.
23 Savage has to TP back to base, which means he can't really come into this mid lane. EG knows that that TP is down. They're going to start with an Avalanche with a Soulbind to counter.
They don't have
Echo
Doom.
Stomp to counter that on top of it. Impale's only going to connect on one. Lightning Storm to follow.
Oh, now they do.
Yep, they do find 1 kill onto crit. The Earth Spiller does connect onto 2, though, as Cuckoo getting right-clicked by Arteezy. Just enough him out. Meanwhile, Doom into the Inkswell. This will be a cleanup crew. Will they get the deny, though, is the question. Now, Abed does die to Carl in the end, so a 2 for 2. Now Fly, Echo Stomp, will connect on the Whitemon. Arteezy still in that meta, so she'll be able to find himself Whitemon at the very least. Triple kill for him. Fortunate for EG that Arteezy's able to get all those kills, and now maybe the tier 1 tower to follow.
Yeah. It looked good for T1. They got the first kill and they got the Doom off on Tiny. This time he does die, but...
Oh, Carl, Dragon Tail. He does have a hood. Mystic Flare does a ton of damage, though. They layer this pretty nicely with the Echo Stomp, but he is mega fast.
Haste and Hood will stay alive. But EG with another good move. They get the kills on Arteezy, 3 kills, as well as the mid tower. So really starting to ramp up. T1 with a less than 1k gold lead with Doom on top of the boards.
And now we have double Blink Dagger. So Ice 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 with 1, Abed with 1. Expect EG to get ultra aggressive now.
And worth pointing out, as was highlighted a moment ago, the Elder Titan did not have his aura yet. Now he's skilling it. So we see the first point now come out in natural order. Of course, this is going to amplify the damage of Tiny and Skywrath significantly when the Spirit is there. So a really nice like amp lineup that they've got going here. A lot of synergies. later on, if ET gets farmed enough, if he melees Jugger, Jugger has so much base armor that just gets removed by natural order, and that will make Terrorblade just slice through him like
Yeah, I was a
no
little
problem.
bit surprised that they picked an agility carry into Elder Titan, if I'm being honest, but...
And what options did they really have, though?
Yeah, there's not that... Oh, Ice Ice Ice, okay. No Dragon Tail, Savage.
Reacts, did he TP and cancel
I think he TP canceled, yeah.
So,
I'm not sure if they saw that, though. Dragon Tail?
canceled.
All right. Ice
Still
Ice Ice
100
popped
gold?
the Dragon form, so he's looking for more, potentially.
Are they going to steal the dragons? Nope, they're going to jump.
Yeah, there's the Dragon Tail initiation onto Nyx Assassin Zephyr. Looks like he's going to get the better of it for now. Spike Carapace into the Impale. Now Ice 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 will be the one to TP out.
Didn't cancel his, though.
Indeed.
Gugu is pretty low, but finds a regen rune. And EG want access to the triangle. It's similar to last game. They want to deny...
Avatos. Yep. That's a kill, all right. I mean, it's funny because we talked about the nerfs to Avatos in... I mean, there have been minor nerfs, but several times, I feel like, over the course of the last couple years. I mean, if you don't get off to a good start, it's hard to actually take anybody out. But with the Mystic, or with the Ancient Seal and Natural Order, able to actually get targets that you normally wouldn't be able to.
Insane if everything is on top of the
Whitemon. Whitemon. Yep. Avatos again. Boom. Boom.
He didn't even land before he died. He didn't even take the toss damage.
You know, the right click does hurt now for Abed, of course. And he's going for the Echo Saber as we expected. Carl did not decide to go Blink Dagger. He didn't reverse us, Cinder, and so it will be that BKB.
He's going to switch to Blink before he finishes BKB now.
Yeah, after the Mithril Hammer Ogre Club, I think it's time for Blink.
I really hope he puts it in quick buy and then buys the BKB. Please.
Yeah.
We're going to check.
That would be a great interview question. Why do you taunt us so, young man? But that crit in the vicinity for an Ancient Seal. Abed looking for more. Ice Ice Ice, okay. Gets the stun off into the Avatos and the Mystic Flare again. The Earth for the follow. And Carl, I mean, if they had BKB, wouldn't be able to pop that off, but they do get the return kill onto Abed. That is huge for T1. So it's a mid for mid. They do have a lot of vision here, but I mean, who is that better for? Actually, I mean, Doom is top net worth because of that
draw.
Devour.
It's so irrelevant, really. In the grand scheme of things.
Oh, again, Ice 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 with the initiation. Inkswell is there. Healing Ward on the high ground, so 23 Savage is more than fine.
I guess the one thing EG might have accomplished there, I didn't see how many TPs came out from T1, but if they rotated, for example, Jugger off a farming pattern and he TPs mid, then you can consider that a win. Arteezy is obviously already well underway up here.
For 23 Savage, are you... Oh, Arteezy?
They gonna try for this?
Maybe. Cuckoo doesn't have a ton of
great
mana
ward.
left, all right? We get the Echo Stomp. Arteezy is here. And with crit, I do believe this will be a kill. Okay, Abed's there as well. Of course it's a kill. What are we talking about?
But Skyrath Tiny is so sick.
From 23 Savage, this build, obviously I like it in general. We're going to see the initiation again from Ice Ice Ice, but he doesn't really have any teammates nearby other than the illusion of Arteezy, which is still nothing to scoff at.
It's just pressuring.
Are you surprised no Manta is being queued up for Jug? Like, I feel like Ancient Seal, like, what do you have against that?
Yeah.
Oh, he actually switched to S&Y now, so you're going to have at least the status resist for it.
I'm worried for Jugger in this game. I feel like you need to dance around so many things to have impact. Like, if you get caught by Dragon Tail, you die. You get caught by an Ancient Seal, you die. You get caught by Avatos, you die. You even have to play around the Elder Titan Stomp too. Like, that can force you to spin.
Yeah.
Because if you take that, any of the previously mentioned spells can easily connect, and they playing without a save on T1. They're gonna find Fly.
Yeah, Vendetta into the Impale.
Looks like killed Cuckoo with
Cuckoo
crit.
solo kill. Very nice. But the Inkswell will connect here, so at the very least, T1 gets some sort of a trade. Not exactly what they're looking for, but better than nothing. And yeah, we've seen these games like from the past where Tiny just takes off. This is not a recent thing that... I mean, typically they taper off a lot, which, you know, could still happen, but Abed is off to an amazing start.
It seems pretty clear that EG's read on this hero is that the damage isn't significant, so they're ramping it up, right? With both ET and Skyrath, a lot of the kills that Tiny doesn't usually find are a piece of cake now. And on top of that, something I feel like EG is doing an exceptional job at in this series so far and in the series yesterday is they get really good aggressive lane wards. They play for that Lion Dagger that they had last game. They play for the Tiny Blink to find non-stop kills and make parts of the map uninhabitable for T1.
That's That's very true. I mean, one thing to note, the courier for
He's
Abed
waiting
was
for your
killed. That
reveal.
was his Echo Saber.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually his Ogre Club's still to finish. I thought he was a little bit more farmed than this. I mean, he's been farming the heroes, but not so much the creeps, so his net worth is going to suffer a bit. But again, creates a lot of space for his team.
But that is a key point, right? Like, he's not exploding in terms of net worth, and
Oh, Carl. They've been waiting up here for a long time. Crit,
For
Ancient
shows.
Seal, Avatos into the
not
Mystic Flare, but will survive. He does have that full BKB charge available. And up that Scorch Earth, trying to find Abed in the meantime, but looks like Crit will be the sacrifice for EG.
And
Abed does have
considering
TP.
how aggressively EG's heroes are playing and how much of the map they like block, Jagger has really good farm. Like, this is he's only 500 net worth behind a Terrorblade who's had more or less free map access. So just finding really good farm on 23
Okay,
Savage.
Blink in. Again, trying to focus on the Doom, who's extremely tanky with both the BKB and Hood. Credit to Carl for not popping that BKB earlier. Very confident.
now
Okay,
he might have wanted
Avatos
to.
now. He's not quite dead, though. Gets out with just a sliver of HP.
Oh, Terrorblade illusion?
That's no. That's. You sound very hopeful there.
Yeah, it was-
Terrorblade illusion.
Yeah, it could have happened. But
A little
it
bit
didn't.
more farm, but he does
And he
live.
didn't pop BKB. That was scary for Carl. But he does stay alive.
Yeah, what do you think of the? I mean, -3 armor from the neutral item, of course.
This time he's going Kaya Sanj.
Okay.
And he
We're going the
committed for
same
the
thing.
Sanj, so I don't think he's going Dagger.
Yeah, Nether Shawl, of course, gives a ton of magic resist at the cost of armor, but most of the damage coming out from EG is magic.
So what do we think about the neutral items? Apple is really, really good on Lesh.
Apple, huh?
I don't...
Okay.
Yeah, so you obviously have the choice of giving Lesh the shawl. I think it was...
Oh, Omni Slash! Fly's gonna have to
Okay.
eat it.
Did Doom have the shawl on the last engage? He
Yes.
probably did.
Yeah.
So that's why he lived.
Yeah, his magic
Against time.
resist is crazy.
It might look weird to give this to Doom over Lesh, but honestly, they need all the magic resist they can get on the Doom because he is the front line.
Yeah, for sure. Cuckoo.
Cuckoo. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
Diabolic
Cuckoo is the
Edict.
front line, apparently.
For now, he is. Split Earth
stun.
is actually going to connect now. Ice, Ice, Ice. Zephyr gets off Vendetta into the Impale, and with that Blade Fury, 23
Great combination
Savage
from T1.
able to take him out. But Abed with the Avatos, he's going to get stunned thanks to the Spike Carapace into the Doom and Split Earth to follow. Abed in a lot of trouble, and T1 doing really well right now. Carl actually gets the credit for that kill. The Inkswell again, this time connects onto Arteezy into the Impale, but there's the Split Earth, or the Earth Splitter, I should say, onto Fly. 3 heroes hit. They're going to be able to time on immediately. Zephyr looks to be the next, and now T1 has to fall back. Mystic Flare, not enough to take out Cuckoo. Be able to walk away for now, but the Arcane Bolt still following him. Concussive Shot as well. Double Arcane Bolt.
This is close. He's fine.
Looks like he's okay. Oh, another Arcane Bolt, and with the Astral Spirit
TB
running
illusion?
after him. All right.
Actual TB
Reflection as
illusion?
well. And
Yeah.
Arteezy ends up
See?
finding the kill.
Told
My
you.
God, the
Told you.
chase. The
You're-
chase potential
You laugh
on
at the
EG.
Terrorblade illusions.
That was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
What a sick save from Fly. I hope we get a replay of that. That looked so good for T1. Really don't blame them for going for that Terrorblade kill. But
Yeah.
I think that was a 4-man stomp into Earth Splitter. We're going to see it here. So
Yeah,
they
in
get
the
this first
trees.
pick on the Tiny by using Doom. And this looks so clean, right? They chain their spells very well. There's a Grimstroke Silence, Nick Stun, Lesh Stun.
Boom. Boom.
6 Splitter. They get the Sunder
And the
off.
Sunder. Yeah, that was really impressive.
And you're right. It is Split Earth versus Earth Splitter.
Yeah, that's
Bit confusing.
It's okay.
If you're a new viewer and have never played Dota before, Sunsfan is talking about 2 different
Ice,
spells.
Ice, Ice.
He usually talks trash and doesn't really know what he's talking about and will call spells
That's
things they're
true.
not called. But
Yes.
these are 2 different spells.
Thank you, Synderen.
You're very welcome.
Earth Splitter and Split Earth.
Yes.
They're both pretty powerful in their own way, though. One is an ultimate, though. A little bit more powerful in the right hands.
And they do different things.
By the way, in that replay, Arteezy was about a split second away from denying Abed. That was super close. The right click was on the way, but T1 able to net themselves Abed.
Bonk.
Who, again, like he's tapered off a bit in terms of farm. Is this concerning for EG?
A little bit, but as long as Arteezy is doing well enough, that's one thing Terrorblade really does very well, is being the true carry of the lineup. Like, you can have 1 or 2 other cores that don't necessarily scale insanely well as long as Terrorblade is safe. And once again, they do have the amplification to work with in this game. They're going to open on ice. They have
Yeah.
the smoke coming
Get
here.
that into the Impale again, but Carl
There
biding
you
his
go.
time here. He has an actual Invis rune. Oh, looks like they're going to get the Mystic Flare off for now. Not enough damage, though, from EG. I think with, yeah, this looks like a kill onto Ice Ice Ice. Carl pops that BKB, wants to go further. Still has his ultimate available, but not really able to find anything. Could have been a lot worse for EG for sure, but give credit to T1. Able to keep the pressure on here. As, Arteezy with a Lincoln Sphere. So, fearing the doom, it seems. Zephyr, by the way, 1,000 away from finishing Aghanim's Scepter on Nyx's Assassin. This gives him the Burrow ability, and it buffs literally all his other skills. It essentially becomes like a siege. Not a siege, but like a... I don't even call it. It's almost like a lurker,
it's
essentially,
like an artillery.
from StarCraft Brood War.
You become artillery. You sit down, you can't move, and your spells are better, and you're tankier.
A lot of times it feels like it's really, like the apex of it is high ground defense.
It's insane on high ground. On either team's high ground, really. It's great for sieging, too, if you get in position.
If you're in position, yeah. But you are against a toss.
You're against toss. You're against insane magic damage still.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is one of those games where you just burrowed and you get spotted and you feel safe.
Are you surprised that he's going for it so early? I mean, we've seen it before this tournament. It's looking a bit underwhelming, I want to say.
I feel like it's stable, I guess. I think it's also about player preference. There are other items this game that would have been really good, like Yule's, for example, against all this spell burst. Could have considered Lotus Orb for his teammates. But it is solid in a lot of situations, and I do think T1 are really late game focused here. So they want that big item that's going to help them later.
Carl and company are smoked right now, looking for potential initiation here. Might be baiting their Lesh a bit.
They would love to do Marteezy, but they broke him.
They're looking for the double doom. Carl pops the BKB, really wants to get this up, finally does, and there's the double doom we've been talking about. But EG on the run, and they have some distance here. This will be a big waste. Crit might have to be the sacrifice. Inkswell, Force Staff into it, so they'll net themselves at least one kill here, but it looks like EG want to fight back. Ice 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 jumps with that Dragon Tail. We see buyback onto Crit, coming back into the fight very shortly because that tier 1 tower is still up.
Super
connects onto 2, but look at the Echo Stop. Onto 3 heroes. Earth Splitter to it's literally everybody. Are you serious? Zephyr falls immediately. Sunder from Arteezy. Mila right-click Carl, looks like from a distance. Fly trying to chase him down. Abed with the toss onto the other side, but Omni Slash comes in now. Illusions are tanking a little bit of it, but Fly will take most of it. Double kill for Savage. As now he's on the run, potentially gets that Blade Fury off. Remember, he has the Shard, so he's doing extra damage and the extra move speed applied. Abed gets the Avalanche toss onto 2. They're going to be able to find him along with Whitemon. So 4 dead in favor of EG. It did cost them a buyback. Cuckoo TP's out in the midst of danger here in the Roche pit. But what a turnaround fight from EG.
Dude, Fly did more damage than Arteezy that fight.
Fly has been the MVP for
that was
sure.
A Terrorblade hitting for a big majority of that fight. Insane. It was literally 5-man splitter, right? We're going to see it again here.
Unreal.
So the healing ward is amazing here for T1. They're going to group up around it to all stay healed.
On
it's
3.
A 3-man stun.
I don't know how all 5 of them get hit, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake there, I would say, from T1. Obviously, the Jugger was in spin, so it takes way less damage. But yeah, clip the Doom as well. And wow, the spell casting from EG.
And Fly takes all the damage from the Omni Slash. The MVP of the fight for sure.
Crit did buyback here, however, so it wasn't a total tragedy for T1. But obviously it is
tail end of this replay again.
It is definitely overall a win for EG for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, Carl is very tanky, has the Sange Kai like you talked about, the plate mail now going into the Shivas. As we see the Avatos again with the Echo Saber being shown, but it's not enough damage to take out Whitemon.
What did he toss?
I think he tossed the creep, perhaps?
Oh, it just died midair. I didn't see anything come down again.
Well, I don't think he has the no target talent. I think that's on 20. If I'm not mistaken. Oh,
instant
jump in. Ice, Ice, Ice. He's get the Lincoln applied for now. Whitemon and company, they get the Soulbind off, but it's not really going to much come from it, aside from potential Ice, Ice, Ice skills. It's going to be close, but no TP for you. 50 seconds on the deck. And we haven't seen Roshan yet. 27.5 minutes so far.
So Cuckoo, with that Observer Ward pre-placed, knew that Ice 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 had initiation plans, so he pre-cast the Yule. And as soon as Ice comes in for the stun, he gets Yuled and just counterplayed. And they have so much chain stun between Nyx and Lesh and Grim that Ice didn't get to play his hero again for that fight. Nicely done by T1. So as this game progresses, the Terrorblade is starting to really pull ahead now of Jugger. Obviously, the last fight, a big part of that. Arteezy now 3k up, almost having Daedalus, a very big damage item for this game. Choosing to not go Scotty, which is pretty unusual, I would say, at this point.
Do you think it's because...
Hey, I did get the range creep, okay.
I think it's because he's expecting Ags on Grimstroke this game, is it not?
Yeah, but he already bought the Lincolns for that, right? It was for that and Doom, so it's like a double whammy, right? But
sure.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's why.
Huh?
All right.
Avalanche into nothing. Abed regretting his decision. Carl's very hard to kill right now. I mean, he has basically every stat in the game right now as the tips come out. So that's a shard on Grim, right? So that's the Inkswell. Will hard dispel at the end as well as heal.
They're going to go here, right? One
Pretty
more wave then
strong.
No, they're just running in.
Oh, Ice with the initiation. Mystic Flare, but the force have to get him out of the Earth Splitter again. On to 3 heroes. Delete 23 Savage from the game. And now Zephyr stuck in his lurker mode. Wrong game, my friend. This looks like a Roche pit for me, for EG.
Playing against what EG has as any core hero has got to be so menacing. Like, you get caught by anything, you just die. The amount of spell burst is ridiculous, and you don't have a save. They have no Lotus. Do they even have a Glimmer on T1? I feel like the Juggernaut, like they tried to force staff him, right? They don't have a Glimmer. So basically their best play in that situation is, okay, we know you guys are going to try to spell combo him. We will force staff him and hope for the best. You force staffed him in facing that way. It's just, you get caught by Dragon Tail, you get caught by Tiny Combo, anything with the Skywrath Blast plus Earth Splitter. The damage is just insane. And this is not an underfarmed Jugger. He looks like he has nothing, but like it's 2.5k health. He just vanished. You know, he didn't get to press a button. You're gonna see the replay here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Force staff in. He's still caught within that Earth Splitter. Fly doing crazy work this game.
Yeah.
And that just set up the free Roche for EG. So that is the first of the game. Close to Scotty though. For 23 Savage.
What's Fly closing in on right now? Because like obviously being able to go in with the Elder Titan is going to be important. So he's getting the Ghost Scepter. More than likely, in order to do that, to be honest, like he's going to Solar Crest an ally, Terrorblade most likely, and cast his spells, and then he's probably just going to run in. He's either going to run in if he feels the need to apply the natural order melee or physical part, or he's going to stay out and get an extra spell volley, and he'll have the choice with this Ghost Scepter, obviously wanting to tank up the Omni Slash as well.
That's interesting.
I really like what Fly is doing in this game.
Oh,
it's very good.
Speaking of Omni Slash, Ice tanks a bit of that, but the BKB TP will be successful.
That's an Omni down. You traded it for BKB. I think that's a good trade for EG if they go again.
Yeah.
It's such a big part of T1's damage, this Juggernaut, and without Omni Slash, not only does he have less damage, he has one less save. Like sometimes Omni Slash keeps you alive because you manage to outlast and get a second Blade Fury. But that part is not available, so only with that one now. Carl is looking bottom. They are pushing out this wave, and EG are looking to take top tier 2. Both teams. Towers, Arteezy. Are they actually going to try this? He has Aegis.
He sure. I mean, they've done this before. Last game, they're going to pop that Lincolns.
Ooh, I don't know about
this. More TP is coming. Crit on the sideline here. We'll see if the toss back from Abed, who pops the BKB. He's the one that gets doomed instead. Soulbind actually does end up connecting on Arteezy, who's in the meta right now. So if they do kill him, that's pretty valuable. Savage with that Blade Fury coming off. Fly not able to really catch them. Okay, 2 heroes into the Earth Splitter to follow. Massive damage being applied, but Eondis does pop. Looks like the Impale's going to connect on 2, though. On 2 dead for EG in the blink of an eye. And now EG need to get out of dodge. Arteezy, meta is down. He's getting chased to oblivion right now. Ice. Huh? Okay. I mean, Abed ends up tossing his teammate there. There's a buyback now.
They're trying to keep Arteezy
on to
alive.
Fly. Arteezy at half HP. He does have Sunder. Gets it off for the time being. They're going to turn it around to Carl as a result. Nicely done from EG. Fly continuing to show his MVP status this game. Abed gets off the Avalanche. This will be a big kill for EG. Gets off the Avatos. Healing ward in front. Fly trying to connect. Oh my god, the damage from that tree. Echo Stomp not going to be there, though. With that extra move speed from the Shard. Looks like 23 Savage is fine.
Great plays from both teams here. I really questioned T1's initiation there, but it worked out wonderfully. So the reason I'm unsure about it is Arteezy has the Aegis and his team is somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But the fact that they try to save the Aegis with the toss back and they get the immediate doom on Abed actually sets that up to be a nice fight for T1. And Arteezy pops the meta and is less than half a second from Sundering Lash. If that goes off, the fight is just over. But T1 do kill him in time, and then they force him away afterwards. and get the kill on the Tiny. So once again, very, very close game. Great stuff. But what a buyback from Fly as well in the end, though.
Oh, yeah.
Saving Arteezy and getting him a kill.
Great plays from both sides. We're seeing why these teams have made it so far in the tournament. And, I mean, game one kind of got away from T1. Like halfway through, I want to say. EG just started to snowball, but this game, 33 minutes in, like you said, pretty dead even. Is all right, Abed, another kill?
I think this is the only hero left in the game that he can solo. And he finds it.
Yeah, probably. He does have the Hyperstone.
He's going AC, right?
Huh?
No.
He's just a casual Hyperstone for now.
Well, attack speed is good on this hero. It is very slow.
And he has, that's his shard, right? Yeah, so that'll give him the permanent tree that he will never have any downtime. It's always nice. I mean, if he goes crit here, Daedalus, and then you get Ags from Roche or something, that is when, like, Tiny, he doesn't even need to go in anymore. He just stays far back and just crits everybody down.
Yeah. I am wondering what the reasoning is behind not finishing AC. If you're already buying the Hyperstone anyway,
I'm not sure.
Is he concerned about getting Soulbind into Dark Portrait and giving the enemy team an AC or something? Like, I don't know. Maybe he just, like you said, just wants to be a cannon. And you, obviously, Tree Volley will do more damage, significantly more damage with a Daedalus than with an AC.
Yeah, but they're
going to jump.
Ice jumps in with the BKB,
great
another Force Staff.
Great
Earth
Force Staff.
Splitter does connect, but only onto one hero, and that's a lot blown from EG, so they're going to have to hightail away.
Actually,
they did pop meta?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
So if you outlast this meta now as T1 and then make a move, I think you have a really good moment of opportunity.
Question is, did they see meta, though? Ice jumps in again, but there's the Inkswell with that Hard Dispel coming through. Soulbind onto 2 for now as Carl trying to get the double doom. He'll get it, but the Lincoln's popped on Arteezy. He has Sunder available for his teammate if he wants to go down that road. There's the toss in, but again, the instant Dispel from that shard. Arteezy getting Omnislash, but the Illusion's taking a lot damage here. Nyx Assassin still in the brunt of things here. 23 Savage almost getting bursted down. He's going to spin and probably walk out, but the healing word is continuing to heal them here. Arteezy, how has nobody died this fight? Carl, Inkswell does connect. Can they burst down Arteezy is the question. He does not, he's not able to get off the Sunder, and he will die as a result. 80 seconds on the deck, and now EG starting to tumble here. That is the second death for them. Abed and EG have to back away. Really good spellcasting from T1. I cannot believe 23 Savage lived.
Yeah, him surviving there is a big deal. And just like the unsung hero in this fight is Gravel. It's the pile of dirt sitting in the middle, stunning everyone the whole fight. There's literally just dirt. Here it comes, the dirt at the front door.
Yes.
You want to wipe it off, but Radiant don't have a broom now, and he's going to stay there.
This is going to be, well, they can only get 1 Rax actually, because the tier 2 is up bottom.
This is a very, very big moment for T1. It's absolutely Lane Rax. No buyback on 2 heroes for 40 seconds.
Yeah, so EG will just have to give this up.
Good stomp, but not enough, of course.
Yeah, this is just going to delay things. I don't think they're looking to fight here at all. I mean, 30 seconds still. No Abed, no Arteezy. But again, silver lining for EG is they can only get 1.
Great fight from T1.
We won't know about Roche in the next minute.
It's starting to show now. Obviously, we're going to see the replay here. So this Nyx stun onto Arteezy, not able to get the Sunder off. What is the swing that we're starting to see in the game is that EG are actually starting to struggle with damage. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? We've been praising how much magic damage this lineup has, but you're reaching a point now where the tankiness of T1's hero is starting to overtake you. The Jugger with the Skadi plus Aghanim Scepter now has 3.2k health. Leshrac got an A on disc. You have... It's also about getting the initiation, right? This time around, T1 got that double doom. Even though one of them was on the Lincoln, they had the Soulbind. And they were just controlling Dragon Knight all fight.
This Grimstroke shard is really good.
That too,
It is really good. He used Inkswell, I think, 3 times in that fight. So Whitemon doing work is, I mean, he's way far away, but if you can get Aghanim Scepter, that will just add insult to injury against EG here.
But it really does feel like, you know, the way these fights happen, either EG jump and burst someone and get ahead, or they jump and burst, and if they don't get the kill, Tiny, Skywrath, and ET have used their spells. And you have like this moment of opportunity for 10 seconds where T1 are just flat out way stronger, and they just took advantage of it.
All right, Ice
so important
has his Black Dragon now with that Aghanim Scepter. 23 Savage has Ags of his own, so he'll have Swift Slash, which I'm sure I'll call Omni Slash like 10 times because you never know.
It's 2 different spells if you're a new player.
They look exactly the same, but one lasts longer. All right, Carl. Initiated on by Ice, but there's the Inkswell again. So not really worried about this combo. All right, Omni Slash onto Ice. He has his BKB. All right, again, Swift Slash, thank you.
Good call.
I mean, I prepped myself for that. Let's be real here.
Jugger?
Right, yeah, no way to take that out, but the Inkswell again, hard to spell. Earth Splitter does connect. Soulbind onto 2. Swift Slash again. Now it's the Omni Slash, mostly applied to the Dragon Knight, but a nice toss in from Abed, keeping his carry alive. But the spin is just way too much damage. Does have buyback, though. He's going to buy back into the game. Dragon Knight still relatively healthy here. Kind of low, though. All right. Looks like they do find Fly, and I think with that, Dragon Knight takes a tumble. Ice is down. No Dragon Form anyway, so with the buyback, wouldn't really be providing that much. But again, these towers are still up, so I think Roche is probably the play, but it's not going to be up for another 40 seconds, so another lucky break here for EG.
You could definitely go and take a tier 2 tower, though, if you want to, as T1. But might just stick around the pit and play the area. What is this close to max respawn time? Like, do the players know that it will spawn before ET and Dragon Knight are up? I don't remember what the original spawn timer was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But they could just scout that pit, obviously, with... Yeah, they're going to do it with a Nyx Illusion. It's going to use that illusion. Was that an Illusionist Cave? Wait, he forgot how it works. He swapped the item out, didn't he?
He's got...
Wait, huh? Do they have Illusionist Cape? Am I...
No.
Wait, whoa. Okay.
No Illusion Escape.
He just had an illusion?
Good effort, though. That's a good effort. Yeah, so I think the next fight, if T1 can... I mean, they can't secure Roche yet. Obviously, it's not up. Or just spawned, I should say. Okay. I mean, EG are up in 10, and yeah, this is going to be pretty fast. This is going to be the Cheese and Shard in addition to the Aegis. And, I mean, most players on their team have Shard already. I guess the Doom will take this one. So that's the Infernal Blade. The stun will last longer. And it has the old level death effect where if you're a multiple of 3 in terms of your level, or if you're above level 25, you will take extra damage from it. So it's just I mean, the extra stun is the biggest thing.
Honestly, when you think about it, really simple skill. You've never played Dota before. Just think about it this way. If the hero's level is a multiple of something, or it's not a prime, or, you know, just make sure, just hit them and hope they die. It's pretty much, just get the Shard on Doom, just hit heroes. It's fine.
Do you miss level death?
Fine. I honestly love that spell
The best thing about level death was it was a Lincoln's Breaker. And, like, you have a Lincoln's Breaker already on the hero. But it was just too good, apparently. Yeah, it was kind of a weird spell. Multiples of 3 and whatnot.
I mean, I think what Valve did was they made conscious effort of trying to cater to younger players. So they took out the fact that you need to know the table of 3s.
Yeah, I mean, the education system in America is really rough right now, so I can't blame them. It's
definitely
probably the right move.
All right, this with Dota
is potentially the last fight here for EG in Game 2. They are up 1 game, of course, so see if they can survive this, though. Savage pops that Blade Fury. No, they're going to find... I mean, Ice is a really hard kill. Pops the BKB a little bit early.
He's very big.
It's a Swift Slash right now. Yeah, he's quite large. Soulbind's already expended as well. You can see the Impale hitting 2 heroes, but there's the Doom. It's going to be onto Abed into... Was that an Omni Slash? Who the hell knows? Okay, they're going to get the kill regardless. He does have his buyback, though. Elder Titanol comes out, but not able to connect for once on Fly. Will be a second Rax going the way of T1. Again... All right, Swift Slash the follow, the toss back in. Looks like Ice gets crumbled here. Double kill for 23 Savage, and that is a dieback. Arteezy gets off the Sunder. Not able to find Zephyr, though. He's really tanky in that burrow. 23 Savage, in the meantime, still has his Aegis. No longer, though. He will come back to life very shortly. Arteezy, he's the only one that does damage. A big toss back into the fountain. All right, 23 Savage. That's one way to die quickly. So as a result, they save... Well, I guess they couldn't have gone for Megas anyway because that tier 2 is still remaining, but still a big kill for EG. But again, they lose their second set of racks.
There's
Hyperstone.
There's something in this game we've barely talked about that's actually a huge problem for EG. They have nobody who really kills the healing ward. It's the amount of value that T1 is getting when that healing ward is up at this point. All of their heroes are so tanky. You see 4K health now on the Jugger.
Did Ice take his range talent for the Dragon form?
He's level 19. He doesn't even have it yet.
Doom,
like, was it?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I don't think Doom has a talent with Elder Dragon attack.
I know, he was clicking on Doom.
Okay, Shannon, sure.
I hate you so much.
All right, yep, me too. Let's see.
You hate yourself?
Yes,
okay, well, that
is
sense.
the secret to playing Dota.
I can't blame you.
All right.
And a nice toss back. I mean, that's always the scary thing about playing against Tiny when you're that deep. Difficult stuff indeed.
Has 100 seconds to drink water, though. Can empty that bottle if he wants to. Still has 30 more seconds if he didn't.
All right, he is level 19, you're right.
Yeah.
Very close again. I mean,
But-
that 150 range, I mean, that is something.
You need someone to break the healing ward
Yeah,
at this point.
absolutely.
It's actually negating so much damage from the Skywrath, from the T. Even Terrorblade's damage isn't burst, right? Like, it's really fascinating to see in this game how EG went from seemingly magically within 5 minutes one-shotting people to not having enough damage anymore. It's literally like a switch was flicked with one extra item.
Yeah.
Staying very safe in the
22K
high
net
ground.
worth lead for T1.
Yeah,
They are looking
firmly ahead in this
really
game.
good. All right,
And let's
Ice did
consider
hit
this.
20.
So, as it looks now, T1 more than likely, okay, will be
All
jumped.
right, yeah, Mystic
Force
Flare.
staff?
No,
No need.
Aeon Disc. Just rely on that for now. Burrowed back in. Lurker form activated. 23 Savage. Yeah, you can see the spell again. Inkswell. I feel like that's really when the game turned around here. As crit. He's going to get
Toast.
soulbound, and there's the Infernal Blade, the extra stun into the War Stomp. And it's going to be an easy one for T1. Still an important hero to kill. 90 seconds of no crit.
Instant smoke. They're just hungry. But yeah, it's a good point. Like this Grimstroke Inkswell precast on Jugger. They precast on him, he just runs in.
Yeah.
If he gets comboed by Skywrath, it's going to get the spell and he will get his stuff off. And he can even spin, obviously, if he wants to. It makes EG's decision-making so much harder. They're trying to bait
He actually went to
something down
20
here.
strength talent. Interesting. We were kind of talking about this backstage, but I mean, feels like a 50-50 right now in terms of what Dragon Knights typically take at 20. But like you talked about, the healing ward has been
They're trying to end.
T1 saving grace. Yeah,
Let's go.
They're gonna force out TPs. Well, actually, everybody's already in their base, so no big deal. But there's a double damage in
Meta.
that top rune. Not sure if they're gonna be looking for that. All right, Ice in the brunt of things, but nice Earth Splitter. Carl's getting really low. Gets Force Staff, but he's still dead. Omni Slash comes out, Split Earth. This is the shard from Leshrac as well. Seeing Arteezy do so much damage. Gets the Force Staff applied. 23 Savage is dead. Double kill for Arteezy. They're gonna turn this around completely. Triple kill. And very little in the way of buybacks for T1.
Did you know that carries deal a lot of damage when they have Rapier and
Divine
Daedalus?
Rapier? Yeah, it's quite a bit. I mean,
that Doom died. So okay, so clearly T1 didn't know this was in play, right?
Well,
Look at that
obviously.
damage graph. Arteezy with the 7K. Half his MMR in damage that fight.
and he's got double
All
damage.
right, what's his damage with that? Let's look.
Well,
So he
he's-
gets another 280, right?
He's not going to pop it quite yet, but yeah.
There's no buyback on Doom. This is possibly a lane of barracks for EG. They have double siege
Yeah,
creep.
but buyback now on 23 Savage. He got it in the last few
Oh,
seconds
what
here.
a Rapier reveal. That was so high impact. T1 had no idea that they were mortal. Now we had the swing back. We've talked about how there wasn't enough damage on EG, and this one item pickup from Arteezy could swing the game around for them.
Yeah, and you have to go high ground against a Nyx Assassin, remember.
He has Aghanims, so he's going to have
very
meta
annoying.
again for 10 seconds.
Oh, he just bought it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swapped
So
out for treads.
the Ags for Terrorblade, that's that big wave that fears you and gives you a few, like you said.
However,
Right.
if you're burrowed, you
Buyback
cannot
on a
move.
Cuckoo.
So you just
That's true.
you're just a very scared pile of dirt.
I mean, it's a
instead of
stun, essentially, against the burrow target.
It's true. Oh yeah. Look at this base defense.
Yeah, Split Earth.
Good luck,
Shard.
EG. And EG don't bother.
All right. I mean, that was still. I mean, they forced one buyback, but no more. Now, what are you supposed to do against this? BKBs and just hope for the best?
This reminds me of like custom games from Warcraft 3, like impossible bosses, you know, like the whole ground is just erupting everywhere and you need to dodge more than you get hit.
Yeah, I remember when this first came out, I think most people thought it was kind of a meme. But
When
we
it
can
got the
see-
extra stun charge, it made such a big difference.
Oh, that's true. It was only 2 before.
Yeah, it got an extra ring.
Oh, Zephyr
All right.
initiated on. He has Aeon Disc. It's going to proc here.
Yep.
Abed pops the BKB, and I was just trying to hightail away.
He has haste.
Cuckoo.
It's got you.
Yeah,
No BKB.
there's the BKB. Okay, Ice in his dragon form. Now they can burst down the Nyx Assassin, and they'll do so successfully. He does have buyback, though. Cuckoo's Aeon Disc does proc as well, though. Now Ice jumping in. He's gonna, I mean, he has a lot of magic resistance. He's gonna get doomed, though. And the Swift Slash to follow.
Oh, what did he?
He's gonna buy back, but he doesn't have dragon form. We'll see what they want to do here. The gem is on the deck.
Careful.
See if anybody
the ground
sees it
is
here.
Lava.
Yeah, let's dodge.
Get the gem eventually.
All right,
All right.
well done. Good effort.
Hey, that's a next level strategy. You drop a gem and bait the enemy team, and then you just keep putting split earths there.
Yes.
And then they
that's
have-
a true minigame.
And then you see when they try to grab the gem, that's when you go.
Yeah, I'm in for that. I like it. You have some great
Man,
ideas, Cinder.
this got really exciting with that Rapier purchase. It was close to T1 just closing it out.
Yeah.
And now anything can happen.
Abed tosses back the lash.
Oh!
Destroyed!
No buyback.
120 seconds because he just bought back. That's essentially a dieback here, and they know it. But of course, they have to defend their base. 12K net worth lead for T1 at this stage, not that biggest discrepancy. We've seen many comebacks of this kind, but I mean, the 2 racks down is something that you have to worry about for EG. Still, that tier 2 tower remains in that bottom lane. And I think, again, I've said, I feel like I say this every cast, the Roshan is very important, Cinderin.
It is.
And it's up in 15 seconds, and they know that Lesh will not be up for this fight.
Yeah, EG could definitely go and grab themselves an Aegis for Arteezy's Rapier if they want to.
And if this has an Aghanim Scepter, and you put this on, I mean, you could give it to a lot of people. Skywrath double spells, we talked about the tiny one.
I like it on ET.
Yeah, ET, the BKB essentially with the Astral Step. It is an Ags.
If you give it to Titan and he feels confident enough to walk in, Terrorblade will like 2-shot heroes that lose their base armor. It's actually insane how much.
So you would
remove 31 armor from Jugger.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not good. I like all the Ags on this team right now. Okay. And it looks like this is going to be a freebie. They're going to destroy this thing super fast. T1, again, it's 4v5. They have to. Just give this up.
My God.
My goodness. This game has been turned around, Cinderin.
Arteezy with the Aegis.
Yep,
Cheese.
5 minutes. Ags, you were correct.
Titan on Ags.
Elder
Ags on
Titan.
Who is the cheese?
Right.
Tiny?
I'm not sure.
Backpack cheese.
But yeah, so just to recover here, the Fly Ags will provide 2 seconds of magic immunity per hero that you hit.
When the Spirit returns.
The Spirit, yeah. It used to be on hit, I think. Or it was through Echo Stomp, actually.
Honestly, I think Fly could buy a dagger right now. You send out the Spirit, you run it through the heroes, you stomp. As soon as the Spirit returns, you blink on top of the heroes that you want Terrorblade to kill.
Sure.
Or you get the Shard, which is, of course, also an option. It is a little bit less, how to say, it's a little bit less reliable in the sense that you need to wait for the stomp to go off and you don't...
Yeah,
you know,
the Shard is... I find that to be one really weird.
You get more flexibility with the dagger, but the Shard is cheaper, so it depends what you value more.
All right. EG trying to mount a comeback. I mean, look at the net worth, Cinderin. You can see that that is not a BKB. That is, in fact, that Aghanim Scepter that we're talking about. But this game is dead even for all intents and purposes. I mean, would you give the favor to EG right now? I mean, obviously they have the Aegis, which is huge.
I actually think EG is far ahead now. They're about
far ahead. Okay.
Yeah, they're about as ahead. I mean, the win expectancy is not in their favor, but that's Dota Plus saying, hey, remember the other team has 2 barracks, but just right now in this snapshot, EG are definitely favored.
Okay.
Even though they're 2 racks down, T1 had a big advantage earlier. Probably, I would say T1's earlier advantage was bigger than the one EG has right now, but it's definitely... It's so crazy, right? We're in late game. All these heroes have 1,000,000 damage. I think T1 had, was that 3 or 4 Eon discs they have against the Terrorblade and Tiny Burst? So they have 1 on Lesh, 1 on Grim, 1 on Nyx. Question is, are we going to see them buy discs on the other heroes as well to try to survive the initial burst? Because I think that's the key part here for T1 is survive the first volley, so just so you get your spells off. Like, if you get your stuff off, you can win fights. But you have to account for Arteezy in these fights now. The Rapier really demands so much respect.
He has a refresher in his backpack, by the way. So has the Ags for the extra, you know, not only the fear, but the extra meta, essentially, and then an entire refresher to just double up on everything. So meta won't be down for very long. That's what I'm trying to say here. That is pretty crazy farm from
Big
Arteezy.
item on the way for Grim now. He's closing in on it. He almost has his Aghanim with a dark portrait. It obviously doesn't benefit from everything Arteezy has being an illusion. The Rapier will not be as effective, but it is still a meaningful illusion for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it also is a Linken's Breaker, right? If nothing else, you can use it to...
Ooh, there's a double damage bottom, by the way. But I don't think anybody has vision of that right now.
Oh, I've seen EG make this exact move in this exact spot against Vici Gaming. It delayed the game by 20 minutes. Let's see.
Yeah, Arteezy thought he was unkillable, and it was proven that he was not. All right, Infernal Blade to start things out. Things well applied.
Eerily
similar. He is very low. They don't want to waste the Aegis. It still has a little bit less than 2 minutes to go.
Last time they did this, they were against the Void, so they couldn't force Steph. But this time they can.
And they could, but it wouldn't do anything.
Thank you, Shin. Very good. Good.
You know.
Technically correct. I can appreciate it.
Yeah, you've been doing that all game to me, so I figured I'd throw one back at you.
Technical correctness is the best kind of correctness. Absolutely.
I would
They
disagree
could do
with
something trash if they really wanted to. You are correct.
I mean, do you think that this is one of those Aegises where you just get control of the map again, and you don't actually try to go high ground? We saw this the other day from EG. After that first failed attempt, the next Aegis, they kind of just sat on it for a bit and just waited for the following Roche.
I'm just wondering, so there's a pretty big difference between this and the Vici game in just the raw advantage, right? In that game, EG were like 25k gold ahead, and Vici were unable to access the map. In this game, T1 already have really big items, so I don't know how big of a lead you're going to build over time here. I think it's a mistake letting the Aegis expire. I think you want to try to use it, but the problem is that the risk-reward is also a little bit... It's tricky, right? Because you have a Rapier. If you didn't have a Rapier, maybe you would be more likely to want to try to go high ground because of the potential loss. But losing a Rapier is like a 12k gold swing.
You're even more vulnerable when the Aegis is down, though, and you have the Rapier. Then you really don't want to fight until the next Aegis is online.
Honestly, I feel like these moments, this kind of moments, is one of the hardest things about playing this game. Deciding what to do right now for EG is so difficult. T1 are willing to take risks. They get out of base.
Yeah, we got the refresher Doom, so we can get the double Doom.
Finding EG would be a really big pick, to be honest. That would not be a bad start, getting rid of that aura. He will have buyback, of course, but the connection points for EG are literally only the top outpost. If they lose that one, TPs are so far away. But they're obviously protecting it with their bodies, so T1 don't get access.
Yeah, and again,
Aegis expired.
I mean, like you said, it's not a faceless void, but the split Earth shard, the Nyx Assassin from behind.
High grounding is misery.
So difficult. Okay, Synderin. All right, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not saying anything. Don't say anything, okay? You know what I'm talking about, just don't say anything.
Okay.
We're at 55 minutes.
That's great casting, by the way.
We're at...
You know what I'm thinking? The audience doesn't.
No,
don't talk
that's not
about
true.
it.
They also know, deep down
know.
inside. I mean, I'm just looking at the timer right now. 55 minutes.
All right, guys, I'll give you a hint.
I'll be excited soon.
Something has the potential of happening in 5 minutes if the game does not end.
Don't spoil it, observers. All right, 55 minutes. We're close. I mean, they have to wait for the next Roshan, I feel like. Unless if T1 steps out of line here, potentially they go for a fight, but I mean, would you agree with me that you just have to wait for the next one?
I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to jinx it.
That's true, Zephyr. You're jinxing it. The fear comes out, but there's the Aeon Disc.
This.
Spike Carapace was already used. Astral, okay.
Double Force Staff.
Yeah, the Force Staff's already expended now. All right, that's going to delay a little bit more now, Synderin, which is exactly what we want. And the longer this game goes, the bigger and juicier this Juggernaut becomes as well. He is mega farm. Is seeing the farm on Carl as well. I mean, what is he going for now? So was this an MKB?
Okay, so try to put into words what you... Oh, hang on. Try to put into words what you think would be really cool if T1's heroes could hypothetically get in this game. Like, imagine there's an item they can't buy.
Right.
What do you think their heroes could really benefit from?
Well, if I mention them by name, okay.
No, just say what...
Okay, I think an item...
Cool if they had, like, more cast range?
No, I think the item for both teams is the item that would, some sort of item that obviously doesn't actually exist in terms of buying it, that would apply, like, a Lincoln's and a Lotus Orb effect at the same time, and some stats on top of that.
That sounds really good. That should be very expensive, I think.
I think it'd be like 9,000-10,000 gold.
What if you got it for free?
If you got it for free, that's game breaking right there.
Okay,
it's almost like
crazy.
If IceFrog wanted to put something in the game, it basically means he wants the game to end.
Right.
We don't right now because it's still an early game. This is still early game for us. As we see a Nullifier actually picked up by Abed, so the Aeon Discs are completely countered. This will apply a constant dispel to target.
How about an item that costs 25,000 gold that you could pool into with all of your players, and when you buy it, you can swap out one of your heroes for another hero?
So, I mean, who would you even want to swap? I guess maybe...
Get techies and start placing landmines to siege with.
Of course you would say that.
All right.
He won. All right, toss back. It's a little bit of a baby one, though. And we see the Soulbind onto 2, but BKB is popped from Abed. That's a pretty big ult down, so they're not going to get the double doom, but Ice popped the BKB in turn.
You got to love their confidence, though, to go high ground here. Like, there's... Roche is 1.5 minutes away. They know that the Aegis is down for EG and that they're playing with the fear of losing their Rapier. So
and they're playing with the literal fear, the ability with Arteezy, but
true.
Not the hero fear, or the player fear, I should say.
No, he's coaching.
All right, Dragon Form is popped. Fly. It's off. That's some magic immunity as a result of that shard, of course. Or the Ags. Man. Yeah, we're seeing Dark Portrait being used constantly on Arteezy, who has his meta popped right now.
It was just his... what was that, the meta?
Oh. Not sure. Ice 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 gets the Dragon Tail off. All right, this could be a fight here. Swift Slash to start things out, but the BKB by Ice 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 into the force staff. Now Carl BKBing into the enemy base, trying to get off his Doom. Gets the refresher off. I don't think this is going anywhere right now. Zephyr looks like he's going to get popped. With the A on this to start things out, the Elder Titan ult has already been expended. The split Earth, he really can't fight into this. Fly wants to get pretty aggressive, but they do take out pesky Zephyr Nyx Assassin. And I guess that's the fight. 58 minutes.
Like, did you look? Like, they're actually just watching each other for like 20 seconds because no one can die. And then eventually you poke and prod and you get an opening on the one hero who can't move.
Right.
That is the one guy you killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So we see another viewer record for the Animajor right now. As we see the replay here.
So I think Force Staff might be on cooldown here for Cuckoo, right? You're still waiting. Nyx is turning. You can still turn when you're underground. And the fear, he wanted to save him there, but he got hit by the terror wave.
I think Arteezy bought a second rapier, if I'm not mistaken. Split Earth actually connects onto 2. The double Doom to follow. This could be really bad for EG. Swift Slash helps finish off Crit. Both Flying Crit are dead. Buyback, though, on 1 as Cuckoo trying to apply some pressure to Arteezy in the backside. He's already at half HP. They're just going to spin down Ice Ice Ice. This is a really bad fight for EG in general. And now Abed might have to sacrifice himself as Arteezy. Again, you're going to have to give up this Roche with that double rapier purchase. And we are 30 seconds away from something very special. It's a Christmas present from Gaiman himself. There's the buyback on Abed. It looks like they want to contest this, but this is going to be without their Skywrath Mage. Half HP on the Roshan.
T1 are going to respect it. They could have definitely finished this.
I mean, they don't have the information that we do.
EG can't connect here. There's nothing for them to TV on. T1 are like, wait a second. They have no outpost.
All right, this is Aegis, Cheese, Aghanim Scepter, and the refresher shard. That is an Aghanim's on Leshrac. He's the one that picked that up, right?
Yep. Everyone else has it, except Doom.
Well, Doom, I feel like Doom's is better, is it not?
It applies break on Doom, right?
Yeah. So this is Nihilism for Leshrac. It applies essentially Ghost Scepter effect to everybody around you and gives you extra movement speed. Something to that effect. They've tweaked it a few times.
You can open the neutral items. It can happen.
60 minutes. We've made it. Tier 5 items are upon us, ladies and gentlemen. I think Mirror Shield is the highest quality item for EG against the Doom.
Deso 2 for Jug.
Yeah, Deso 2 for either team, really, would be pretty strong. Oh, okay. Deso 2 has been found by T1.
It's in the backpack.
He does. I mean, the BKB is pretty important because he doesn't have a Dispel himself, right?
The horn is definitely good, too.
I feel like you take the Stygian for sure. I mean, all right, only one item has dropped. I'm trying to think of something else. So even like an item that is kind of underlooked, the Seer Stone for somebody like a Skywrath Mage,
or
just being able to use, or Nyx Assassin, just being able to use everything from such far range, I don't think should be underestimated. I think that as we see the
Ex Machina,
did they not pick it up? Ex Machina?
He did ping it. He knows it's there.
Okay. So Ex Machina, that's you get the items.
All right, really big problem for EG here. They don't have neutral items. They're not getting outside of the base. They're terrified and waiting. So the advantage that T1 is going to enter this fight with will not be 20k gold. It will be 20k plus whatever value you assign to these tier 5 items, which is anywhere from 0 if you get the wrong one to 1 million if you get the right one.
1 million? My goodness, that's quite
a lot of gold.
All right. No. Well, Book of the Dead. All right.
It has definitely been so this was one of the items that we were going to say maybe wouldn't have that much value, but Book of the Dead has been buffed quite a lot. So even that is better. Now, if you're playing Tinker and you're wondering, wait, it says on Rearm I can't rearm Necronomicon. If you have no ideas and you play what Necronomicon is, it's from that item.
You'll never know. Here's the initiation from EG. 23 Savage. Earthsplitter connects. That is the Aegis down. They have to be careful. This is a double Rapier Arteezy you have to deal with.
Oh my goodness.
And you can see the Book of the Dead going to work. Those are, in fact, Necronomicons. They're extinct. Wow. They're a very special species that have been extinct for quite a while now.
Going to work. They got one shot by Arteezy.
Very strong item. All right, so, okay, Ballista. That is the last tier 5 item for T1.
Oh,
and they do not have a good...
for them, actually.
Yeah, they don't have a good carrier.
That is the worst neutral item for their lineup.
I think with the right lineup, it could be the best, but you're right. This is pretty trash.
It is not good for their team.
Whew. Okay.
It's in base.
They will literally just not even use it.
Arteezy, I don't even think you wanted this EG either, to be honest. You want a bigger stat item. As Terrorblade, you would want like Apex
Yeah,
or
Apex, Giant's Ring even. I mean, the
Yep.
extra HP and be able to terrain walk all
Can
the
we
time
just
would be
have a
pretty huge.
Giant's Ring Dragon Knight with BKB.
EG, this is the time to go into the jungle and get some tier 5 items. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's 63 minutes in the game, which means they've been available for 3 minutes. But the smoke onto T1, and they're going into the base of EG. This could be
Oh, if they're going to get
potential
this jump.
game ender.
Arteezy.
Arteezy, remember, he has the Lincoln Sphere, Refresher as well. They
He has no
spot
move
him.
speed, though.
The Lincoln's his pop. He's going to get off his mana, but he's doomed. He's going to get forced out twice to the other side, into the toss. Back into the fountain he goes, and he's going to be fine as a result. In fact, all of this from T1, they've used pretty much everything, it feels like. Let's see if they can get a Rax out of it as well. The Doom is still applied to Arteezy, but now they can try to defend. The Book of Shadows, or not Book of Shadows, the Necronomicon, whatever, the Book of the Dead. Back to life, Cinder, and they get a melee Rax, but the range shall survive here. All right, ice. There's the Nullifier applied, and this is not going to do anything as a result. Gets dispelled immediately, but they don't have the right-click damage to actually finish him off. Crit was initiated initially, but 23 Savage does have buyback. Zephyr burrows into Lurker form. Ice right on top of him. There's the Ancient Seal into the Mystic Flare. Double kill for Arteezy. No buyback for Nyx Assassin. Now they're going to turn this around. The cheese popped onto the left
Doom
rack.
has Doom ready.
Yeah, Inkswell, pretty important here. Carl, Doom. Oh, the Sunder quickly onto Carl. The right clicks come out as well. It's not quite enough damage to take him out. Arteezy with a double rapier will finally die. Does have buyback though. 23 Savage picks up at least one Divine Rapier here. And Arteezy getting chased out by 23 Savage. You can hear screaming in the background. It's a 3v4 situation. Nihilism pops in the meantime, and that's going to be enough. T1 with the tier 5 item advantage. Take game 2. Gaben almighty, what a game. Woo! Goodness gracious, Syndrin. We got our wish. Tier 5 items come, and we get a game 3. That was a back and forth. The Rapiers kind of turned this around for EG, but then T1 end up taking the game in the end. Oh.
That was probably the best game of the tournament so far. That was crazy. There were so many things to highlight. Amazing individual plays, great itemization. Once again, want to go back to, it feels like an eternity ago, but 20 minutes in, EG are just one-shotting cores with their combos.
Grabe naman yun.
maybe other than like a Slardar. When both teams so much weight on their, like he's the carry, but these guys are both definition of.
Dire's pick now.
Wall hero,
It's Dire's turn to pick. It's Radiant's
not the pick. No.
Wow.
I
Here
like
we
the
go.
Puck Phoenix. Sick combo for them.
It's
Version of
Radiant's
Doom.
turn to bat.
Best way to counter it is to run away. Puck is that. Now you may go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say you may see Lion DK against Puck, but I've seen pick Puck willingly, and this goes an earlier Eon disc
Cool.
that we were mentioning, and instant stun kill combo not that great when he's able to reliably survive against them.
This is something that I expect. Now we can see Lion, Puck, and
10 seconds.
Snapfire. It was popular here.
5 seconds.
Got nerfed, but ulti dies the.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
I like Tide a lot for E. They have to ban it out on T. Or I saw LGD win a
10
game
seconds.
exact same way. Heavy single target
5 seconds.
disable opening. Tide.
It's Dire's.
The idea of the Tide is that he just.
Oh,
Sorry,
look
running
at
away.
that snipe.
It's because you are a hero that they don't want to stun. And if you go on somebody else, you can counter initiate.
Ten seconds.
Egg hitters.
5 seconds.
You guys remember
Radiant's
Mars?
ban plan
Remember that
anyway?
hero?
Was super popular at the start. He had like 77.
Doctors of the World started coming out. People were literally picking down. He does fall off quite hard if 5 to 6 minutes.
10 seconds. It's Dire's.
I love these bans from both Dooms, the Razors. Get him out of here. I'm sorry. I just think series that matters more than any other I've watched so far. Critter Spirit 1 and 2 so far. The record playoffs, so it's not exactly like
5 seconds.
shows the hero's pretty underwhelming. If Crit has
It might be good here.
it looks good,
like when
yeah.
I.
You're talking about
Then-
Tusk right now?
I'm talking about. Back to you, Slacks.
Thank you. I will take that back. Tusk is a walrus. Thank you, guys.
That is about the best info.
Well, a lot of people don't. At any rate, taking a long time on the next base. Too much about T1's draft so far. Standard. The last time they really valued the Protector,
It's Dire's turn to pick.
an apparition.
Either that's we not show it.
10 seconds.
Fog that was
5 seconds.
Best Viper you.
Hey, these heroes are not actually
Yeah.
simple.
You might think about you stat,
It's Radiant's pick.
but
There it is.
what's yeah?
What
Makes
animal is that, guys?
sense. Walrus.
That's right. See,
Grab
I
it.
bet
makes
more
sense.
fun.
Dire's pick now.
But we already discussed why. This hero. very
Wow, that's
popular
still
duo. Spell mechanic.
I don't think they've ever left.
10 seconds.
I don't think they've ever left
5
combo.
seconds.
Fan of the. They're already out of the pool. Could go Luna as well. Well, it's good in lane. Try lane. I just think this is a good spot to pick your.
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
Wait, that hero's still in. Okay, well, it's against Lion though. Chantress, both of which.
I think they
Fire.
baited him in.
This is like the worst Terrorblade pick. Because the high armor on the core. Ways to deal with the.
5 seconds.
DL still in the.
Lose together, win
They want to
together,
pick
slay
DL.
together,
It's time to
slay
pick
together, lose together,
one of the
win
Savage's
together, slay
best
together,
heroes.
slay
Yep.
together.
Oh no! I think this is a complete bait. They have 3 Terrorblade counters.
This
letting them have it.
This is actually a offlane. Crack.
5
Yep.
Terrorblade.
Wow, let's
Position
go.
1 Tusk. Rush that Midas Deso.
Let's
Yep.
go.
Oh, you have to go
Into
battle
Shadow
against
Blade.
the
Okay.
Shadow Blade.
when you're tusking against PL carry, you do have to item.
5 seconds.
So they need an. Popular in.
I'm confused.
You will dire ban.
You must see something. On paper, one that it has to be the bigger picture. The lanes. Every time I've questioned EG drafts in these spots where they end up with like a 3K lead at 12. Going into this game, I'm already saying otherwise
It's Radiant's
remotely
turn to
even.
ban.
I don't see how. I don't think there's a single pick in this game. Mother is outright. Yeah.
See that more from the
10
certain role.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Is there like a neck ranged offlaner that you have a tusk
Grabe naman
sword.
yun.
You could also do like a dark seer. Dark seer.
Muốn giết một con rồng máu phải chạy thành sông.
458 có đài bắt ở đây không?
Heal off.
458 đài bắt rồi.
Yeah, they're. That would be a game changer.
Could be. We do those illusions come to. Could do some creative stuff. The last time you saw one of them OD.
Oh yeah.
It
was. Yeah. Okay, this is a good band. Lacks. Like they would have limited. Like that would be actually
10
PL,
seconds.
Firestorm percent. Dragon Knight,
5
5
seconds.
K Lion, a bit of a like
It's
great
Radiant's
ban.
pick.
Grabe naman yun.
Muốn giết một con rồng máu. Muốn giết một con rồng
I think
máu
Underlord-
phải chạy thành sông.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds.
Tusk. It's actually pops the egg, but if you
It's Dire's turn to pick.
Oh, offlane ET.
Hey,
That's a. Just pro armor TB. ET doesn't usually make Terrorblade have 0 armor because it's a 5-position
10 seconds.
T that's never get in there.
Grabe naman yun.
BKB is incredibly valuable. The only
5
thing they have that
seconds.
goes through is the Tusk Punch. Tag team damage. Probably gets that early ags. Maybe like Darkseer is the hero I can think of. Have a obvious.
Oh my goodness gracious! They banned it last game. Now he makes King of.
Sand King. This game is on ice.
I loved the draft until
Still
last
let's
pick.
hit up too.
How well offlane. Now I'm leaning a
They came back. Player disconnected.
545.
Oh, someone's gone. Quick, Jax, go find him. Never a doubt in my mind.
All right, well, there you go from best analyst. Send you to that game. The winner of this goes straight to the grand final. Don't go anywhere. Get yourself ready for one of the hypest matches casted by Suns fan and his friend. True.
Thank you, Sir Action Slacks. I feel like there was a lot of meaning behind the word friend there, but they're intended, and we'll have to find out later. Suns fan with Cinder, and as he said, this is game 3. Winner ends up facing PSG LGD in the grand finals. That's true. They've been the dominant team of this tournament thus far, but this is going to, I mean, if it's anything like game 2, and we get more tier 5 items, which, I mean, based on the odds, probably not going to happen, Cinder, but looking at these lineups, I want to just say, and tell me where I'm wrong here, Phantom Lancer as a hero this tournament, kind of underwhelming. This is after like a lot of the nerfs to the shards specifically from, I want to say like a month ago.
Yeah, I think the best showing from the hero was when it was picked by, I want to say, was it PSG LGD against Nigma in the upper bracket? I think they picked PL into Terrorblade in a similar fashion, like a late pick in the draft that was relatively uncountered, and it did very well in that game, played by Ame. But yeah, this game is going to be very different from the last because I think the lineups are very different in nature. EG with very powerful team fight. You've got Puck, Sand King, Phoenix. Whereas T1, their team fight largely coming from the Elder Titan, who's kind of like a combo breaker. And then they have the easy initiation of both Dragon Knight and Align with Dagger. And they're playing core ET, which is very uncommon. I think SCA is one of the regions that might run this the most, but it's not something I'm very familiar with seeing. Obviously, the primary reason what prompted this pick for T1 is probably the two things. First of all, they want a way of combo breaking this massive team fight and getting out if they need to. And secondly, core ET gets farmed, and therefore he can run at Terrorblade. And then you get that armor removal that will make PL and Dragon Knight just way stronger against Terrorblade than they usually are. So a lot is going to come down to the early laning. It's going to come down to getting items. EG, I think, has a really strong timing when their team fight comes online. And T1 has a really strong timing when they get specific items. Aghanims on Titan. And I think the daggers for them are really important. So we'll see. EG are starting with an aggro tri-lane once again. They're going to leave Ice solo top lane on an island on Sand King. And we have Carl versus Abed in mid. Very classic Dragon Knight favored matchup against the Puck in the game. I think in lane both heroes farm. But that stun is obviously going to be very annoying for Abed to deal with.
I just have to mention, both Terrorblade and Puck are TZ and Abed's basically their heroes of the tournament, if not multiple tournaments at this point.
Yeah.
Both given to them, essentially.
But it came at a trade, right? They chose to pick Puck, and they end up facing Dragon Knight and Lion. So two of the best counters as Whiteman and Crit going at it. Crit will come out Slightly ahead, but have to run away, of course, by being melee. Forcing the salve.
Yeah, but they do start out in that tri-lane, like you said.
They are
it looks
really
like
shutting down Savage here.
Yeah. I mean, last time they did this, they kept it up for a few waves, and then Crit started to kind of rotate out a bit. You expect kind of the same thing here?
I'm not sure, actually. The problem for Tusk is that ganking mid, I do think he can gank mid on level 2 if he skills shards. Dragon Knight is one of the better heroes at surviving a Tusk gank by having high armor against the tag team. But if he's this low, obviously there's a potential kill. As far as the top lane goes, I'm a bit worried for Ice 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 that if he doesn't get any help, playing Sand King 1v2 and getting shut down is so hard because you counter this item with a Sentry Ward. And mind you, this item is cheaper and you have more of them than you used to. So you can just keep shutting this guy down. You can keep investing in sentries if you want in this top lane. Or, I mean, as it looks right now, they're just going to leave him alone. Cuckoo is going to solo that lane, and Zephyr is looking for potential other plays on the map.
Yeah, Crit
Maybe
shutting
bring
down.
Keel into the game.
Crit ends up taking the water rune bot, which leaves the top one for Abed if he chooses to do so. Obviously, just wants to pressure Carl for the time being. Can always illusory
Carl actually
orb
going
there.
for it here. He's going to force the orb. He's not getting this right.
Yeah. Get it as a result.
But that's going to cost Abed CS, actually. That's pretty smart from Carl. He chose to go there at the time that 3 creeps were low. And he is giving Abed the choice, do you want to get the CS or do you want to get the rune? And Abed does get the rune, but at the cost of, I think, 100 gold there. In the mid lane. And yeah, Carl is with a great start here. 13 for 3 against 7 and 4. Cuckoo sitting on 14-7 against the 5-0 Sand King. Very expected with the head start he got. And ET is just so good in melee 1v1 with this build. He just smacks him. As long as this is central, Ice has to stun and run. Like, it's not fair.
Oh my.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody else to help him out here, so Ice is kind of living on the edge right now.
And PL still has farm bot. Like, I feel like T1 actually got off to a really good start here. And now that they're rotating Ench down here, they're going to have the stronger tri-lane as well. Enchantress, one of the best tri-lane heroes, as long as she has access to creeps.
Nice shards, blocking him in. Nice job from Crit. Arteezy pounding away now. That's going to be first blood for Arteezy. Can't choose a better hero if you're an EG fan.
Not ready to get sharded off there. And obviously the 3v3 favoring T1, very dependent on an Ench creep. The moment it expires, EG just go. They pounce on him immediately. Get off to a good start on Arteezy, like you said. Still,
I mean, for Sand King in general, you kind of brought this up with the jungle. If they're going to actually go aggro in there at some point, looks like Zephyr. A little bit of pressure to Abed right now. Illusory Orb for that top water rune. Oh, he's going to get Dragon Tail. No, Waning Rift will put that to an end.
Great play from Abed there. That was perfect.
But how much comeback potential does a Sand King have if you get off to kind of a rough start here?
You can always farm stacks in the jungle with Sandstorm, and you can like start cutting waves, but he's not like... It's not great because the build-up... Okay, hang on,
right,
Whitemon.
Another attempt here, this time onto Whitemon. Like you said, the Ice Shards don't completely block him in, but makes him choose a different path than he would otherwise take. So another kill for EG in this try-v-try.
Very, very important for EG to just pounce on every opportunity they've given, because when these 3 heroes are together and they do have a creep on Ench, I do think these moves don't exist. But this time Zephyr wasn't there yet, and they get in on Whitemon and get that kill. So nicely done. Yeah, as far as Sand King recovery goes, usually if you're having a great start on Sand King, you would like to go Veil and then Dagger, or maybe you go some sort of like tanky build with Bracer or something like that. In this game, you're probably so far behind that you have to go for the Dagger, or it's going to come too late. And that just means that in this build-up period where you're farming up those 2k gold, you're very exploitable for this ET as long as he has a sentry. He's going to go Soul Ring so he can keep the mana flowing. Then I imagine we will see that Dagger queued up. Maybe Boots on the way. But yeah, 15-0 against 13-14. Not exactly a good time.
Yeah, of course, he's been playing these heroes that want to initiate and get their... I mean, he's been playing Dragon Knight a lot, so that's a very tanky hero. Sand King, not exactly that tanky, maybe more elusive than tanky, I guess. The bot lane, another Ice Shards blocking a bit here for 23 Savage, but just going to doppelganger away.
They're trying to pressure the tower with Siege. They're forcing out spells. Got to be a little bit careful with not overextending here as EG, because any TP rotation from Elder Titan or Dragon Knight could be powerful. But they've taken advantage of the fact that, look at the resources, right? 100 mana on ET. I think Dragon Knight's sitting on 100 as well, so neither hero are really able to connect. So they can squeeze out that advantage from the resources that are missing. And more than anything, Dragon Knight actually...
First coil of the game. Crit is
He's
here as
toast.
well with that tag team. Abed, nobody's going to give you high five, at least not on team. Okay, he just walks right out, but the Ice Shards blocks him in, and eventually they'll take it. Nobody's going to give him high five. That feels pretty... what?
Okay, that is big.
Ice. He had half the CS as Cuckoo, but gets the solo kill.
That is a huge kill for Ice.
Wow.
That
Must have been like a caustic finale on creeps or something like that, right?
Think about it. He got this kill, and he's still behind on gold after getting a 1v1 kill.
Yeah, but that pretty
That's
much
how much
brings
he
him
was
back,
losing
though.
for. Yeah, he's drawing the lane now. That is the biggest kill of the game for sure. Very nice. So we're seeing it here.
And Burrow Strike, and just the creeps doing a lot of the damage here.
Cuckoo just overestimating his tankiness. He had like
absolutely.
250 health or something, 300.
That's
He's going
very
to get a refill
surprising.
and reconnect to lane, but this does put Ice at a very big level advantage in that top lane.
Carl
dodged. Very nice from Abed.
Waiting Rift to follow, and he'll be able to maneuver himself around. We see that Cuckoo is actually going for a Hand of Midas. Thoughts on this?
He's playing for late game.
Yeah.
He wants to get Midas Ags, I think.
I mean,
and run
for
at the
those that
terribly.
haven't seen an Elder Titan core, especially once he gets a ton of farm, this is a scary freaking hero. And we saw the Ags last game. That was on a support.
He's an excellent anti-carry late game against heroes that have high base armor, and Terrorblade is #1. So, crit TPs. They get the coil.
Right, Waiting Rip just for the mobility. Coil, like you said, tag team to follow. Do they have enough damage to actually kill him off?
Carl missed completely. Oh, actually, never mind. Did hit
Looks
fly.
like Carl gets blocked a bit here. Crit is actually going to dive down with that snowball. Looks like it'll be enough, just barely, to kill Carl. So in the end, EG do get the kill. Takes a lot longer than they were anticipating. War Stomp is there. He's going to get healed from Fly. Waiting Rift to the low ground. And Cuckoo trying to chase, but...
enough. EG doing a very, very good job at executing these skirmishes. 5-0. They've just been outplaying on these moves. Like Dragon Knight there, he's so close to living because of a good Breathe Fire. Getting that damage reduction on 2 of EG's heroes, but still, Crit chases him down.
Ice has... Oh, he's got a Ring of Health queued. I'm not sure if he bought it. Is he going Vanguard? Did he get a Vit booster coming or something? Or maybe going for Pipe this game?
He could... Can you play this game without Dagger because you're with Puck? Like maybe you go Crimson against the PL. And you just try to enable your team fight in this strong mid-game timing that you hit and try to avoid it getting to late game at all.
I mean, what are your thoughts on...
Could do that, actually. It wouldn't be too bad.
What is Sand King like against PL in the mid to late game? Because back in the day when this worked this way, the Aghanim Scepter against Illusions was crazy.
Insanely
But doesn't
good,
work that way anymore.
Right. When it applied Caustic Finale to Illusions, he was literally one-shotting PL.
Yeah, it was great. That was a golden age of Dota when PL wasn't here.
Yeah, gotta love that. He's queuing an Urn.
Ooh. Good attempt there from Crit, but White Mon positioning himself nicely.
How does Sand King fare against PL? I think he does well for the time being. Like, let's say 20 minutes, you're 25, 25 minutes, you have Crimson Guard, +1 item, you're fine. But PL will eventually overwhelm you, and you're going to struggle against Mana Burn. Sand King without mana is garbage. And his spells are relatively costly, so he's playing against both Mana Drain from Lion and the Diffusal Blade from the Phantom Lancer that he's building his first item. Is going to be a problem for Ice. Seeing this Ring of Health really just makes me think he's going Crimson. Like, I don't think there's any other like high-value item he would go with this here. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think so. PL working on that Diffusal. Yeah,
He's just jungling now. Yeah.
So everybody's building up. Like, EG are up 5-0, so it's looking like a great game for them on the scoreboard, but 3 of the top 4 cores are still T1. They have especially won the mid lane very hard with the Dragon Knight against Puck matchup. Carl is beating out Abed by 700 net worth, even though he died off Fly.
I knew he was invis, taking the risk anyway, and it looks like he's going to fall before being able to use that egg or a dive or anything, for that matter. He did get the sentry, though, Cinderin.
Ice.
Yep,
He's in a sentry ward.
He sure is. He's actually right next to it now, getting chased by these illusions continually.
We'll be fine.
And as Carl pressures the tier 1 tower, Abed's still looking for that elusive high 5 that shall never come, apparently. It's very sad. Maybe he'll get it after the game in person.
This is actually kind of problematic for EG. They're almost losing the tower, so they pre-salve Carl, so he's tanking the tower for very long. They bring in an inch creep with the bonus armor to tank the next shots.
Oh, wow.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's dead.
They lost their tower minute 10.
They will get the deny at the very least, but yeah, that's... I mean, it is a Dragon Knight. You gotta expect that at some point, but it's a little earlier than we're used to seeing, for sure.
And it is a really good tower to get against the Terrorblade lineup. He wants to access his triangle. He wants to play as much jungle as possible.
Oh, ice. Yep, there's TPs coming from T1 right now. He gets the burrow strike off to the other side, but you have to think that he will likely die if there's a sentry here. Ice. Oh, he's actually prepping the epicenter. Gets it off. Does a little bit of residual damage to Whitemon, but the Dragon Tail's there, and Cuckoo...
Can he find a way out of this?
Burrow strike into the TP. And it's going to be successful. Unreal. Ice.
That's some Vanguard value.
Wow. Yeah,
he got a lot out of that one.
That was very nice. And this opens it up for the tier 1 to at least take heavy damage, if not just take the whole thing.
This is really good from EG to get this tower pressure in the meantime. They're not rotating to try to help Ice. They're just taking advantage of all the space he made. Are they actually getting a full tower? Minute 12. We were just praising Dragon Knight for getting it. That is
You've never
so
seen
huge.
the Puck Phoenix Tusk push before, Cinder?
It's classic. You'd use tag team and you just smack that tower. Really good.
Man.
It doesn't work. Don't do it.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. That would be a good buff to Tusk.
Yeah, I definitely think tag team is the part of the hero that needs a buff. That's the way to go.
Yeah, true. Oh, there we see the coil onto 23 Savage. Snowball to follow into the Walrus Punch. High value kill for EG.
And they get the courier. A little bit of a bonus.
Adding insult to injury there as EG take a 2K net worth lead.
EG are very good at this when they're playing against these illusion-based carries. They're very good at catching them in the triangle with an offensive ward. And if they even get this top tier 1 tower, there's just even more access to shutting down this PL.
Do you think that comes from playing those heroes themselves? I mean,
I think that's a
feels
part
like
of
the
it.
triangle, especially on the Radiant side, is such an important thing for EG, at least
it's also
for the past 6
something,
months.
It's not just playing it themselves, it's something they specifically do really well with Puck, I think. They're really taking advantage of Puck's ability to connect over cliffs. All right, Zephyr,
is no
space.
more. Not as much space as Ice because he wasted time and lived.
Yeah.
But good effort. Good effort overall.
Correct. Diffusal will be coming out very soon.
All right, I want to talk to you about this. So 23 Savage, the PL. We talked about the Shard, how it was nerfed pretty heavily. We still see it sometimes, and sometimes they just entirely ignore it. What are your thoughts on this right now? As in, like, do you get it at 20 minutes? It's not a requirement, obviously, since we see a lot of people bypassing it.
I think in this game you probably don't. I think you're very stat dependent here. You need a lot of defensive items to survive all this AoE damage that EG are bringing. You need to hit this point of critical mass where they don't kill you anymore. So, like, let's say you have Hood Manto, Hood Heart. So you can survive the first volley of spells and be a threat in fights. The problem I see is if you go for that Lance build-up with the Shard, that's all you are. You can't really do much more with that. It's a very they are
we'll
really ruining Zephyr's game.
That's a double kill.
Oh, I thought you were going to call it space. It's like debatable.
Well, it wasn't much space because they're in their jungle right now.
Nice. Ice is threatening here. Not finishing the Crimson. He's going Travels.
On Ice?
Yep, Sanking is close to Travels.
Okay.
So gonna keep playing the map, and honestly, I really like this approach from EG right now. They know they have the stronger team fight. They know they've taken the towers that they needed to take. So let RTZ farm whatever he wants and just try to pose a threat. What's gonna end up happening likely is that this PL Diffusal is not gonna come to much use because they can't really fight. And that means RTZ outfarms him. If PL flat out only wants to farm, the usual farming build we see is at least a Yasha for the efficiency. But since he did go Diffusal, he doesn't have the luxury of farming as fast as a Terrorblade, and the gap is going to keep widening as he also needs to buy Hood against all the magic damage. So if EG can keep a firm grip on the map, this gold lead should increase over time. Currently sitting on 3K minute 15.
How much of that comes from seeing Cuckoo was built Hannah Midas, and then obviously their mindset is to go late. So Boots of Travel gives you, I mean, it feels like a late game item almost because you don't want to buy it if the game's going to end in 25 minutes.
I think maybe part of it is that, but I think it's more a natural result of the lineups more than the itemization. Like if Cuckoo had a drum or whatever, like some sort of cost-efficient item right now, I don't think it would have changed very much for EG's approach to the game. It would have been very similar. Nice deep ward here placed by Whitemon. Don't know if they're really looking to do anything though. I think what T1 are mainly warding here for is actually they're not placing aggressive wards to kill. They're placing aggressive wards to see EG smoke and make moves so that they can dodge them. Placing defensive wards leaves you more vulnerable to getting attacked than having the wards on the other side of the river where you see the move before it begins instead of seeing it when it comes out.
Reflection into, this is a triple kill.
Space.
Triple kill. Yeah, I mean, he's this is almost chain feeding at this
It's
point.
still really impressive to me how well 23 Savage is keeping up. This reminds me of last game where Artesian Terrorblade has seemingly the whole map at his disposal. And at the same time, 23 Savage is only a few hundred gold behind. After he has been killed in his triangle, he's still keeping up. He's got the hood now and looks to be queuing up Manta. So in this slot, PL usually goes one of 3 items. He either goes Manta, Sanjin Yasha, or Heart. And he is opting for the Manta here. There's obviously some big outplays. You can dodge Sunder, the initial cast. You can break Puck's Silence. And with some really clutchness, I think you can break out of Coil still. You do it right on the edge, as Roche will go to EG.
Yeah, this is a really early one.
Yep.
16-minute Roche.
Fly. Gonna pose here.
Yep. The Sunray Burrow Strike onto 2. Looks like the snowball comes in as well, and the egg on the sideline into the epicenter. 23 Savage is in a lot of trouble. The right clicks from Arteezy. Will it be enough? Yes! Just barely, but they get the position 1 for T1. You were praising his farm. This is now the second death.
T1 has no business looking to fight into EG right now. I just think lineup-wise, it's not feasible to try to go. You need to keep pushing waves. If you do want to fight, it has to be Enchantress or Dragon Knight getting caught so that you can get your ET spells off so that your Peel can go. Peel walking in and casting a Spirit Lance there and then getting stunned by Sand King is almost the end of the fight already. Because he has one of 2 things will happen. Either he's going to die or he's going to run away. And what's your damage? If PL isn't fighting here, what damage does your lineup really have currently? It's not great.
Oh, Zephyr. Oh, no. No, please, no more. Not again.
He can do one more.
Not like this, please.
One more.
Crit. Oh,
okay.
All right, Ice Shard's missed there. He still has Snowball at his disposal, though. And with the... Oh, Abed's there.
Oh, hello.
Hello. And yeah, this will be another death for Mr. Zephyr, having a bit of a rough one on Enchantress early on. That is 6 deaths, yeah. I mean, they only have 1 kill overall. This is starting to get a little stompy here, Cinderin. Like, from T1's perspective, what do you think that they need to do to kind of crawl back in this before it gets to be insurmountable territory?
Should ban Puck.
But yeah, well, they did that game too, right? Or they took it themselves.
Right. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I think you have to dodge fights. Like, get vision out, try to play away, because it's something 23 Savage does really, really well. But they lost focus a little bit and got caught a couple of times.
Ooh.
Playing like that is really difficult, by the way. So I do think...
Oh, Coil coming. It's only onto Carl here. He's going to break it right off the bat. Snowball's coming, but look at the Sunray damage from afar. Nice Echo Stomp, though, onto 3 heroes, but the Burrow Strike into the epicenter on Cuckoo himself, and it looks like they're going to lose Fly to start things out here. It's going to be a trade, though, for Carl. That is the much more important kill as EG just continues to get these trades. Well, I guess they've only gotten 2 trades technically the whole game, but they get the better of these situations.
Yep. That's the kind of fight that you have a chance in where you are on defense and the right hero gets jumped, right? It's the Dragon Knight. That's what we were talking about earlier. You need to get DK or Enchantress caught so that your other heroes have time to land their spells. You get an Earth Spike there, you get the Stomp like you said, but still not enough in the tank to get more than the Phoenix kill. It's something though. But playing Keep Away in Dota right now is really difficult. I do think you probably have to do it a little bit longer. Maybe the next item on PL or ET or both opens up a little bit, but the game just doesn't favor your lineup right now to take straight on 5-on-5 engagements.
Yeah, 23 Savage. Actually, it looks like he's just going for the almost like the magic build after the Manta. I mean, the Manta mostly to dispel, like you said, the Waning Rift is kind of the big one, but into the Shard and an Aether Lens, Cinderman, which could turn into Octarine. We've seen that before. It just becomes this very spammy Spirit Lance game where you're kind of playing from afar. You don't really want to fully commit.
Gonna go again.
Yep, Coil will be broken right off the bat. Zephyr on the other side with the heals. Ice Shard's going to connect, though. Nice block overall, but there's the ET ult from a side. EG taking heavy damage as a result. But here comes Fly from the other side now. Cuckoo gets off the Earth. Oh, beautiful Echo Stomp onto several heroes. But it's not really going to matter for him. The Burrow Strike is far too powerful with the numbers from EG.
Yep.
There's another kill going their way.
They're doing all the right things. Like, their heroes are tight together. They're making moves on their conditions. Okay.
He's going Radiance.
Yep, that is my favorite Blink Dagger.
This is a pub build right here. Ice is playing a pub right now. A Burrow Strike into the Waning Rift. You can see the Fire Spirits from afar into the Sunray. Is this actually being enough damage against the Dragon Tail off? Nice stun onto Fly, so no more percentage-based damage for you.
EG need to get out of here. They're running out of resources, and I do think they will full-on disengage. So.
Is this a troll? Like, honestly.
I think he's going to buy it against PL.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's really good against PL.
So he has the luxury of not buying Dagger. We talked about that 10 minutes ago, that maybe he isn't even going to buy one. Like, he's just going to tank up, and they are going to initiate with Puck Tusk. And he can either buy the Crimson Guard to be this aura frontliner, or as is the case here, he's eyeing a Radiance, which I think could definitely work in this game.
That's very cool. Because when you see PL, cool. And let's say in theory you don't have the heroes to deal with them, which they kind of to a degree do, especially with Coil. It's Mjolnir and Radiance. Those are like the two main itemizations, right? So, and I mean that's pretty cool. This feels like a pub build at the same time, because if you're in a pub and you have a Sand King buying Radiance, that usually is going to be a report, at least in my experience.
So there's probably about like 20,000 aspiring players watching this game right now, and they're like, "Oh, Radiant Sand King, very good.
This is how this is how trends are started."
Usually, when pro players buy something and you're like, "That's weird," a lot of the times think about what they're thinking instead of just blindly buying the same item. He is not buying this item every game.
But it's more fun to blindly buy the items, Cinderella.
It is. It is more fun to play with Radiance and Dagger. I do agree. It is very fun to have carry items on an offlaner. But yeah,
I mean, he was in the safe lane technically, to be clear. Here.
That's true. Maybe he's the carry.
Yeah.
Arteezy offlane Terrorblade.
Yep, easy. He's just going to play the armlet Sunder roll, right, with the Dagon.
Yes, my favorite build from 15 years ago.
This is going to be the tier 1 tower top.
22 minutes it took with Enchantress
very late
to get the tower for T1. EG almost getting bought tier 2. Some defense coming in here from Carl and Whiteman. They're going to back off. So.
Yeah.
All right, 6K lead, EG. I think something interesting, we're talking a lot about this Radiance, but like Kyle, or sorry, it wasn't Kyle, it was BSJ on the panel pointed out.
I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah, they're very similar somehow. Like BSJ was pointing out, this is a game that's a lot about the carry versus carry matchup, especially in the series, and you're making the game easier for your terrible Radiance. You're easing the carry matchup.
Oh, the Coil's going to connect on 2, but it looks like EG might be. Oh, Fly wants to potentially go in.
That was a little bit wild.
There.
He could have got Earth Spiked and died there for sure. Or Dragon Tailed maybe, but DK was not in range.
And these illusions are starting to get really annoying. It is 22.5 minutes in. Does he have Shard? Yeah, I was going to say.
He feels like he has Shard. He's going SNY. Okay.
Okay, so he switched it up here. Okay, I mean, you get the status resistance, but you can't instantly dispel the Waning Rift, which, I mean, it feels like when you're a Puck, you're going to be coiling him immediately anyway, usually. Right?
Coiling PL is usually very good when you have this amount of overwhelming team fight, because he will be stuck, you know where he is, all of your stuff is going to land, and hopefully it's enough. I still question whether he should be going a Heart, but maybe the damage output of him is too low, going for Heart over SNY plus Lens, but... Yeah. T1, they knew what they got themselves into with this draft. I don't think they can be surprised that they're losing team fights. They just need to weather the storm. Closing in on maybe a BKB for Cuckoo would be big. BKB on Dragon Knight, and PL's next item is a big timer. And for EG, the goal is, until those items come up, keep extending your lead, look for kills, try to maybe get a tower in the second Roche. Second Roche is very big. Yeah. Obviously, we didn't talk too much about BKB as an item in this game. It kind of counters almost everything EG has.
They're going to find Cuckoo. Zephyr's on the other side here, but if he's not careful, he's going to get his millionth death of the game. Although TP support's coming in. Carl pops his BKB with the Dragon Form. Nice egg. Will he be able to kill in time? The Burrow Strike does connect. They kill the egg, though. Whitemon gets his finger of death off. He's going to live through this engagement to start things off. Crit getting chased now as Arteezy pops that meta. It's just pounding into everybody. 23 Savage is done for this fight, as Carl's just getting chased back into the base, and Ice finishes off Whitemon finally. Just living on the edge with that Lion for such a long period. Ends up being a 3 for 2, but again, EG just loses their supports.
Yep, it is. You are seeing some signs of promise here from T1, though. That was the first team fight that they got kills in. That seemed like, okay, they can stand their ground, and the really key thing here is Dragon Knight has a BKB.
Yeah.
And they connect on the Phoenix, who even gets egg off. Like, imagine there's no supernova there. That could have maybe just a little bit of less time they needed to commit on Phoenix. Could have perhaps swung that in their favor. So definitely within reach for them in these fights. And, you know, we had this situation in the last game. EG have like this insane burst damage. They're killing heroes really fast. And ultimately, the heroes of T1 got too tanky. Could this become a repeat of that? if they have solutions for Terrorblade, Puck damage falls off, Sand damage falls off.
Puck
damage
not
falls
so
off.
much though. Puck feels like it scales a lot better than it used to, at least.
It does. It definitely does scale better than it used to, but it's still probably not scaling at the rate of Dragon Knight ETPL, right? So you have to keep up the tempo as EG and make sure you don't run into this issue again where
I think
you run out of damage.
EG's perspective, that was a fight where 4K of net worth was basically dead. That was a sacred relic just sitting in the base for Sand King.
That's true.
And once he gets his radiance, which is about 100 away, I feel like these fights will just be amplified in their favor, at least for the short term. And with the next Roche coming in
Do they have a Veil on Phoenix?
On Mr. Fly himself?
They don't. So
no.
They have so like this is one of those things where I'm like thinking to myself, do you have a Veil to make everyone's damage so much bigger and hit this timing, or is it gonna backfire because you put too many eggs into the magic damage basket? You know what I mean? Like, because Veil right now looks insane with Phoenix, Sand King, Puck, but obviously they're looking at the bigger picture, and later on the BKB is going to, and instead they have this Sunray with the Holy Locket.
Zephyr,
Terrorblade alive.
he's actually going to live. He actually lives there.
Close call.
We haven't seen this yet. This is something new for T1. Up, Coil is going to be snapped right off the bat. He's been doing this pretty much the whole game, and will it cost him his life? I mean, he's dead anyway, but yes, Carl does die to Fly. Whitemon in the meantime trying to TP out. Nope, that Arteezy right click just ends up being enough, and this will be a tier 2 tower, if not more. Roshan up in 15 seconds as well.
Not popping BKB there for Dragon Knight is pretty damn cocky. Like, thinking you're going to get out of that. The amount of damage there. It's the BKB that's keeping you afloat. And you thought you were going to snap that coil and live. And EG say no, sir. And they're going to push high ground. There are buybacks here, and they obviously do have ET, so Cuckoo will be slowing this down a lot with this stomp. Hitting everyone, buying a lot of time. Was thinking about the ulti, but
the heal from Fly.
Actually got a very
quite a bit.
Minor bit of damage on that tower with that.
The Radiance.
We're going to get more.
Radiance is online now. What do you think of this build on Cuckoo's Elder Titan? So it's off lane. I was expecting maybe a little bit more right click, but is it because he's behind he has to go for the Glimmer Cape? As we're going to see the Dragon Tail. Okay, they're going to start this fight out. Get the Spirit Lance out, but there is the Arteezy Sunder into the BKB. And with that, it looks like they want to run. Absolutely. The chase is on from T1. Abed should be able to get out. Arteezy might be in some trouble though. Fly getting the heal off for now. Carl pops the BKB. There's the Echo Stomp. Big Burrow strike to follow though. Arteezy getting chased down. No thunder for him. That is a dead Abed and Arteezy. But the epicenter is enormous from Ice. And will the egg actually pop? It looks like it will. Don't think they can kill in time. Just in time, but they don't have the right clicks anymore because their carries are dead. But Ice, he's the true carry, Cinderin. He has the Radiance, and 23 Savage is dead again. Carl now on the run, or on the fly as it were, since he is a freaking dragon after all. Crit putting somebody in this snowball. Looks like it's Ice. But the buyback now onto the off-lane Cuckoo. That might be enough to just break up this fight. They can't go for Roche without either Abed or Arteezy, but somehow EG come out ahead on that because I want to say the egg and the epicenter.
Damage recap from that fight. I think Ice single-handedly basically killed 3 heroes here. Like,
good lord.
Epicenter on 2 with Radiance with full duration Sandstorm. He gets the stun follow-up there to save the egg with 1 hit left.
Look at how casual his hand is on his keyboard. Doesn't even look like he's trying. Is that even the right replay? Looks like...
Imagine if
like he's browsing Reddit or
maybe they would win every tournament.
Oh, all right. Arrow strike on the Cuckoo. Echo Stomp does connect onto 2. He's still blocked off for the time being. Gets off his beautiful ult, but Cuckoo's just going to get chased down now. He's inside the coil right now with 3 heroes. Crit looks like he's going to be the first to fall for EG. That will be a nice turnaround for T1. Now the blink into the Dragon Tail. Fly might be next on the list. Indeed he is. They do have double buyback if they really want to expend it, but doesn't look like much of a need here for EG.
I honestly think one of the things about T1 that's the most impressive at this tournament is how good they are at playing when they're behind. Like, we've seen other teams kind of just lose control and never really come back. T1 are finding ways to set up fights that they have a good chance in, and this one was one of those where Cuckoo gets caught, but it's just tanky enough with that Glimmer Cape to stay alive, and they rotate, and obviously EG, part of the problem there is, you could argue it's an overextension, but T1 play with the chances that they have even behind. And what did they gain from that? So I guess what we maybe should be talking about is why is Cuckoo buying BKB over Axe, right? They cost about the same. The BKB is more reliable because you don't have to hit the Spirit on so many heroes and you get to pop it whenever you want. That is probably the primary reason. Oh, Abed.
Yeah, he's playing with fire here.
Hiding in the soft spot of Roche. I don't think it's called that, but now it's called the soft spot, which is where you don't get spotted when people walk in.
Okay. I guess we can go with that. Sure.
Yep. Oh,
Savage.
3 seconds on Coil. Is he going to get the right one?
Soon. Yes. Loser of the volley might break it. No, they're actually just going to go for the Burrow Strike into the epicenter. But actually already out. This time is going to be applied most of the Enchantress with the Burrow Strike and the Walrus Punch. But Zephyr is still living. Good lord. Arteezy, Aghanim Scepter. What in God's name? And he's just right-clicking the crap out of 23 Savage. And Zephyr still living. He has to not die this game, it looks like. But now he's getting slowly chipped away with that Sunray. Now he's just going to die to the tower. So that time he did create quite a bit of space, but...
Nothing like some grilled deer.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. I mean, talk to me about the TZ Aghanim Scepter. That's a really early one. This is like the old... Like, when they first added this variation, NA, in terms of like EG and all the other NA teams, they were buying this like first, sometimes second item.
I think it just
really
shows EG's read on the game is double down on the team fights right now, right? The synergy between this and Coil is super strong against the PL, and yeah, he's just taking advantage of that. The fact that EG is strong right now, crazy. Like you said, the Coil heal actually lasted pretty short because he has S and Y as well as the sliver. So a lot of status resistance coming his way, but it's still not enough.
Who's getting the shard? I just want... Oh my god, I was going to say, okay. This, I think, is the literal worst shard in the game. Am I wrong? Did they change this for Sand King? You get the epicenter thing that goes off occasionally. I think it's in fog, you can still see them, if I'm not mistaken. I saw this recently.
Oh, there was one.
This is... So every X amount of units you move, you get an epicenter proc. Am I wrong that this is really bad?
It's good against PL. There's movement happening in the fights all the time. You're chasing after PL, you get procs.
I mean, I would love to be wrong. I've just seen that.
What
like,
are the alternatives, right?
I guess I don't see it through fog.
Phoenix has his own. Puck gets the winning grade, which isn't that great this game, not that necessary. The Tusk one.
That one's amazing. Kicking out of Coil, that is god tier.
Isn't the Tusk one Sigil?
Oh, you're right. That's the Aghanim Scepter I'm thinking of.
Carl is flying, but not TP.
He is super dead. Percentage-based damage to follow. And there's another dragon hitting him.
No, that was not the word I was
looking for. Okay, you're right. The Tusk one isn't very good either. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at the big picture, I just don't know. I mean, Sigil could have been in this game. It's pretty good, I would say.
It's just a boring one because it's an old skill, right? But, okay. I'm willing to be wrong on this ice shard. It looks like we were looking through fog. It does not go through, so I guess they fixed that. I mean, that's literally game losing in some situations. Or it was. So that's good to see.
EG are building a really big lead. Ice was top net worth. He is so
huge. Yeah.
It's crazy. He's out farming a terribly to Sand King in this game.
And he still is not going for Blink anytime soon. No, I'm a little surprised he's not going for an Ag still.
He's a boss. He's going in.
There you see the extra epicenter proc next to the amazing card picked up from Ice. As Arteezy is going to pop that. And Abed has a quad man coil into the fear. Will it break? Yes. That is one death right off the bat. The silence on the 23 Savage. Looks like Cuckoo glimmer himself, but he's not going to last much longer, and this could be the beginning of the end for T1 at the Animajor. Ice gets off the Burrow Strike from far. It's going to be a buyback, though, so we'll see if they're able to get more than this. It is 5 versus 4, and no Cuckoo for a long time. Arteezy's meta will not last forever, though. And he's already expended the fear, which gives you that extra meta time as well. But I do believe that they're going to get this Rax in all likelihood. Although 23 Savage, these legends, this shard can be really annoying to deal with. But Ice is build. I mean, we're going to see this in pubs for generations to come, Cinderin. And I don't know if I'm happy about that.
For all the wrong reasons.
Shard at 20 minutes, I think is what's going to happen. Not from Roche. You're going to purchase it yourself. And he's almost done with Shivas. He is redonkulously tanky right now. Didn't even mention Essence Shroud. Nobody buys this item anymore. Very cool to see.
You mean Eternal Shroud?
What did I say? I said Essence Shroud. Yeah, sorry, Eternal Shroud.
I was testing to see if you remembered what 5 seconds ago I did. So that's a good sign for your cognitive ability.
I'm not that old yet. No. We're getting there. We're getting there.
That's fine. Got some years left in us.
Essence Shroud. What is Essence Shroud? Is it anything?
There's an Essence Shroud.
Oh my god, a triple bounty rune.
Wonderful.
Goodness
that's 270 gold for every hero.
Yeah, that's nice.
EG 21,000 net worth lead. They've just done such a job at forcing team fights this game. That's really been the game for them the whole way. They know they're stronger in team fights. They know they have the catch with the Sand King, Puck, and Tusk, and they just keep taking it to T1, not letting the timing that they're looking for. EL hasn't really got online in this game, and all of the BKB charts of Dragon Knight have just been forced out really early. So he's not very strong either. He just, like, biggest problem for T1 the whole game has been lack of damage, really. Like, they just, the ET still doesn't have 35 minutes in. Never got there. The game is almost over and his item isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's kind of crazy to think that he buys Midas first item and his next major item, not Glimmer, is delayed more than 20 minutes beyond his Midas.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a 4K gold item.
All right, Dragon Tail, 45 seconds still on Aegis here, so they don't want to expend too much on Arteezy. Looks like they'll get the tower to at least. Look at that phase shift damage with that Desolator applied. Carl has to force up his KB in that Dragon form now. Still right-clicking as Ice jumps in. Elder Titan ult does actually connect on Arteezy, who expended the BKB. Kind of want a little bit careful because this Aegis is going to go down soon. Just wants to get the full heal without taking damage. But with that Desolator, you have to think that this is going to be at the very least a melee Rax again in favor of EG. Ice, look at how up he is. He's basically vulnerable. Then we see the coil attitude. This could be the end of the game here. Into the fear again. Beautifully done from EG. They're going to get that kill right off the bat on Carl. There's not a whole lot that T1 can do. 23 Savage takes a tumble. Triple kill for Arteezy. GG's are called. EG again, making it to the grand finals of a major, Cinderin.
Yeah, well deserved win this was in the third game. I think they just outplayed them at every turn. And really, I think you'd be hard-pressed to not call Ice the MVP of that game. Like,
yes,
honestly,
I think so,
outstanding individual performance. I still, you know, Dota is a game that sometimes is very snowbally in nature. The kill he got on Cuckoo top did so much for that game. That was actually crazy how much he got out of it. And I love his itemization. We were talking about, okay, what do you do with Sand King from behind? Well, guess what? He wasn't behind after the kill. He was leading on net worth at times in that game as well. Went for the Vanguard into Radiance build up with Eternal Shroud. Just insanely tanky. Really, really great performance from him. And I honestly think, like, if you think about how this tournament has gone as a whole, and you look at how strategies have worked in general,